Cause if you don't run, come then and I get the sun. So she packed a bunch of roses and she started to run. Hey guys, the shenanigans of Trev. The shenanigans of Trev Essesnce continues. Right now, shiddly biddly 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 whoa. Hey lovely people, what's going on with y'all? How are you doing? Alright, me have to make up myself modest, you know? But brother, my heart, I can't. Anyway, alright. That better? Alright, that kind of better. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna use them something here. And I saw my born, and I saw my raise, and I saw my grow, and I saw my live. 50 odd years, and I saw my live. Alright, but anyway, times and things change. But welcome to the live, guys. Welcome into the live. Tonight, we're going to Bible trivia. What we're doing Bible trivia? I'm going to eat my ice cream. Who did up on the live today? I'm going to make my ice cream. Lord, have mercy. Me say my ice cream nice, you see? Don't be a hater now. Don't be a hater. You can make you some ice cream too. This is strawberry coconut ice cream. And thanks to Andrea for making that suggestion today on the live. Because this ice cream is fire, I tell you. I'm going to eat it. And I'm going to wear it. 10K, what's up? How you doing? I'll eat this ice cream and I'll wear it around my waist, around my hips, on my face. Misty, girl, let me tell you, the strawberry coconut ice cream is everything you ask for and then some. But anywho, while I continue to eat my ice cream and get you all jealous, because when they born, you leave and hand them somewhere. You know what I mean? Eh? Why you can't make your own ice cream? You did left your on them in your mother womb when you were born. Is that what it is, Misty? Is that what it is? Oh. Sorry. I came out with mine, right, 10K? I came out with mine. So, I can do all things that these two hands can do, including shut your box. These two hands can do a lot of things. Including shut your box. Let the church say amen. Listen, I need to be able to self. I need to be able to self. I really Una brought me out. I was never like this. I was never like this. Y'all are corrupting my being. Come on now, people. That's so wrong. But anywho, may I go and eat my ice cream? I'm talking about box. We are the Bible trivia. Yes. Wait, mean by me. Lord Jesus, you can't do me so. What I mean by me don't know how to behave myself. I wanna cause it. I wanna brought me out. Ask anybody who know me, and they will tell you, Trevor's always been quiet and cool and all these things. Yeah. And then uno make me a cuss. Uno make me cuss. And y'all get me naughty sometimes. Oh, that bring Jesus of his mercy, could bring her. Hold on there. Brina, some lip them need lipstick. I don't know some lipstick never there too far. Brina, what's up? How you been? See that, sir? See that? Hey, you know when I put them lipstick on, it's trouble. You said the jury is out on that. So I wanna tell me so. I wanna do it. I wanna do it. Ask anybody who know me from childhood or know me from long time. Right, Danny boy? Donald, what's up? Tracy, and how you doing? And they will tell you that no, sir. Trev no cuss on them something there. No, sir, because I don't, really. But just never make them hear. Anywho, Brina said, you're busy, Brina. I'm so glad to see you. A long time now, I don't see you, Brina. You know, some more than 1 year now, I don't see you. More than a whole year, I don't see you. Oh, Richard and the kids, everybody all right? Yeah, a long time I don't see you for real. Here you are. 10K, so I have spoiling Christian experience. How want me do? Then are your Christian God? Are your Christian God make me? So if by you looking at me, you're having trouble controlling yourself. Not my fault. Take it up with your Lord. Right, Misty? Tell him take it up with his Lord. Take it up with your Creator. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Me that same. Me Jesus baby at 1. I'm not see you pregnant. Much more for see the baby. Oh my word. Dada. When me talk like a while about box, as me talk about that, y'all need to tell me the name of the man in the Bible that shot the other one a box. Those of you who love tout Bible, wanna tell me the name of the man in the Bible? He was a prophet, a supposedly godly prophet, and he had a disagreement with the other prophet, and him shot the prophet a box. Which prophet was that? Since you don't know the Bible so well. Oh, thank you, Donald. 10K say you only know second Cain did bucking brother Abel. That's the only thing you know about in the Bible? The only cruelty you know about in the Bible? Trust me, the Bible has so much instances of cruelty in there. And after these cruelties, I'm not hear of the redemption for them. Yeah, but wanna tell me, what the name of the man where they shot the other man a box? The prophet. Y'all remember his name? Wait, right over here, so dark. Do you? Oh, who was calling me? Oh, too bad. Nobody seems to know the name of the prophet. You say King Saul and David. Name the prophet who shot the other prophet a box because they had a disagreement about going to war. If you all remember, the story of King Ahaz, remember the story? Remember the story of King Ahaz? No? Well, Jerry, at this point, you're just a guess. At this point, you're a guess, man. I know Jeremiah and Elijah at all. I don't know them at all. Come on, guys. Where are the Stanley peoples here? Capuan, look how you choke me. Look how you choke me. You know how long now? You know how long now nobody no refer to me as their wife? You make me choke. Oh my gosh. Where you say me and you that make a good couple? Oh, listen to me now, 10 kid. When people preach the Bible, when people preach the Bible, there are some things that I think they deliberately avoid. There are some stories that you're not going to hear because these stories make their God look bad. Okay? Yeah. So, unless you read it for yourself and pay attention to all the vileness and the hate and the cruelty, and you stop and ask yourself some questions, you ain't going to hear it from a pulpit. You're not going to hear it from a pulpit because them don't want you to ask questions like, you know, if your God was so loving, why your God was so mean? Why your God presented with these contrary personalities? What was he hoping to accomplish by this? No, them don't want you to ask those questions. You know hear what Paul said this morning to Titus? You hear what Paul said to Titus this morning? Those of you who were in the Bible reading this morning, Paul said Titus, don't entertain the people them who are come ask you questioning about this gospel. No entertain them. No listen to them for fear that you might start questioning the gospel too. Where you say you already have the answer in Isaiah? Douglas, how you doing? Happy Sunday to you, Douglas. Where you say you already have the answer in Isaiah? The first prophet who shot the other man, the other prophet a box, was not in Isaiah. That never there was Isaiah. Douglas, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Bless up yourself. No, hold on. I go find it and tell you. Let me find it and tell you. Because it is in the Kings. Yep. All right. I just want to make sure say me not forget who it was. All right, you ready? You ready for the answer? The name of the prophet who shot the other prophet a box? And that the only get that answer there. Hold on, let me get my pen and my paper. Hold on. I need to keep track of those of you who are answering correctly. Yeah. Here we go. Where is Cad, by the way? Where is Cad and the other Bible scholars who are here? Who are supposed to be able to give me the answer? Barry, you come to Bible class each morning. So that means you should be able to answer the question. Was just gonna give the answer, but since we see I'm not get the answer anymore. What the name of the prophet who had shot the other prophet a box because he was disappointed that this prophet seemed to have been speaking truth, but he who claimed to have been chosen by God didn't seem like he was speaking the truth. Which prophet was that? Do y'all remember his name? Zedekiah. And then Obadiah. It was Zedekiah. Zedekiah. Y'all remember when King Ahaz thought it was time to go fight with the Syrians to go get back the land of Ramoth Gilead? And he consulted with this king of Judah, Jehoshaphat, I believe was the name of the king of Judah at the time. And King Ahaz was the king of Israel. He consulted with Jehoshaphat, say, listen, that land over there in Syria and Ramoth Gilead belongs to us. So we want back our land. But I think it's a good time for us to go fight for it. Jehoshaphat say, boy, I mean, I think so, you know. But I will consult with the prophet them and find out if we think it's a good time to go. So they consulted with the 400 prophets. And all of the prophets said, yeah, this is the right time to go up and fight with the Syrians to get back with land. So Jehoshaphat said to Ahaz, boy, I mean, I think so, you know, star, because the 400 prophets and all of them say, God tell them, say, yes, it's time to go fight. Nobody now say no. Everybody say yes, a time to go fight. Jehoshaphat said, no, so I'm in this with you know. If you want to go fight, you are going to fight. But I think you need to get somebody else. Get one ex-prophet. You know, get one ex-prophet. Come in and show me to trust all of them 400 prophets here. I'm not sure me trust them. So make we find another prophet and ask him what he think. Ahaz say, you know, say, me know one prophet down the road near Micaiah. But I don't trust that man because every time he has prophesied something for me, it is always against me. He has never prophesied anything on my behalf that it turns out to be good for me. So I don't want to ask him. And Jehoshaphat pleaded with Ahaz and said, yeah, man, ask Micaiah what him think. So them send the messenger go for Micaiah. Micaiah come. Them ask Micaiah, what do you think about them going up to go fight the Syrians for Ramoth Gilead? And Micaiah said to them, I see the children of Israel on the mountains of Israel like sheep without a shepherd. Yeah? What that mean? That means that in the fight he's seeking here as dying and the children of Israel no longer having a leader. And King Ahaz say, you see it? You see what me tell you, some don't like the man here? Because him always a prophesy gloom and doom against me. Zedekiah, who was one of the prophets, he had already prepared himself for this battle. He make himself some certain with horn and what they call that, armor and all these things because he was ready. Because he said God told him Yeah, say it's time for them to go fight the Syrians, Ramoth Gilead. And God told him to prepare. So him having helmet and him having armor and everything well ready. And him turn to Micaiah and him say, how God for pass me? How God for pass by me? For come tell you, say, King Ahaz is going to die in this battle. And him shot Micaiah a box. This is a prophet, you know. Supposedly man of God, you know. Eh. And him shot the other prophet a box. Because him say, how did God tell you? And God never tell me that. Because him say God tell him it was time to go fight. And Micaiah said, God tell him say it's not time to go fight. And he saw in a vision that King Ahaz is going to die in the battle. And King Ahaz did not listen. King Ahaz did not listen to Micaiah because him say Micaiah never prophesied anything good about him. So he decided to go to war. But look at Scrundrel, you know what he did? He made King Jehoshaphat wear his kingly robe. So he would deceive Syrians, making them think that that was... that story is so interesting. To make them think that that was the king because the person was wearing the kingly robe. And when they were riding in the chariot, the fighting was going on all around them. The king of Syria had told his soldiers, listen, only person we want to fire after is the king of Israel. Yeah, man, the king I want to take out. I want to take him out. And when the people and when the soldiers rose up their bow and arrow to go shoot into the chariot, Jehoshaphat jumped up and said, hi, it's me. I'm only wearing the kingly robe, but I'm not Ahaz. So they held back their bows because him scream out. They held back their bows, but one of the soldiers decided that he was going to fire his bow anyway. And he fired the bow. And the armor that Ahaz was wearing, the bow found a little spot right between the upper armor and the lower armor, and he went straight through into him. And he bled out. While they were fighting all day long, he was laying there in the back of the chariot bleeding. When the war was over in the evening, he had bled to death. So you see, of those 400 prophets who said God tell them, say it was time to go to war, the Syrians for Ramoth Gilead, the one prophet, Micaiah, was the only one who was right. Yes, the other 400 were wrong. But them say God did tell them so. Take from that what you all will. But this Bible here, with all these prophets who writing and talking about God tell them this and God tell them that and them say God hears and them say God hears. So when you read the Bible, take it with a grain of salt. But anyway, no, I'll never get the answer there. I'm going to give you one whole lecture behind it. He said, who are the modern day Syria? The modern day Syrians? I don't know. I don't know. Who are the modern day Syrians? I sit here tell me, I sit here genuinely ask me. If I sit here genuinely ask me, I don't know. The people them will live over there. The people them will live over there, them are Syrian. The descendants of Abraham tribe. For Abraham now went Syrian. Abraham was a Syrian, wasn't he? And where Bible scholar them there? Abraham was a Syrian, right? I think so. I think so, but I can't go look it up. But me think he was a Syrian. Say me know. Yeah, I believe he was. I believe Abraham was a Syrian because I remember when he had said, when he had said the servant should go to his people to find a wife for Isaac. The servant went to Syria. So if that's where Abraham's people were, that means Abraham was a Syrian. You can correct me if I'm wrong if you don't know differently. You know. You say, if I know say Babylon is Iraq, I know, I just know say somewhere down there, so. No, I don't know. I don't know, that part, Iraq is mentioned in the Bible. So, and Babylon is mentioned in the Bible. Over time, I'm sure properties have been annexed and taken because there's no longer a country named Babylon. So I'm sure it was changed from Babylon to Iraq. Or it was incorporated because the Bible mentioned Iraq and the Bible mentioned Babylon. So that would mean that Babylon wasn't changed to Iraq, but Babylon was incorporated into Iraq to become one country. And that's where we are going with that? Is that where we are going with that? Oh my God. But anyway, let me ask you some more Bible question. How many children did Abraham have in total, according to the Bible? How many children did Abraham have, according to the Bible? How many children did Abraham have? Who remembers? Anybody here remember how many children Abraham had? No, it was changed from Babylon to Iraq, just like how India was part of Africa. But what I am saying, though, 10K, is, all right, so if Babylon was changed to Iraq, what happened to the country Iraq that was mentioned in the Bible? Because there's no longer a country called Babylon. You know the historical geography of the area. Let me make that clear. But what I'm saying is, Iraq was mentioned in the Bible, Babylon was mentioned in the Bible. We no longer have Babylon, but we have Iraq. And you say Babylon was turned into Iraq. So that's why I'm asking if it was that the Iraq incorporated the land called Babylon and called all of it Iraq, thereby eliminating the name Babylon. And you say no. So may I say no, then if no is the correct answer, what would have happened to the Iraq that was in the Bible then? I don't remember seeing Iraq was mentioned. You miss a whole heap of part of the Bible, man. You miss a whole heap of part. You miss a whole heap of part. Alright, you say you go research here and let me know. Alright, do that. Do that, my love. Alright, but you say Abraham had 44 children? Which part of the Bible say that? Which part of the Bible say he had 44 children? Because I don't remember reading that he had 44 children. Anybody here can steer me to where it was that Abraham had 44 children? Come on, man, don't talk to me. Me not remember reading that he had 44 children. Who was those 44 children's mother? You know, ever the song Father Abraham had many sons? Yes, he did have many sons, but me don't know of the 44. I didn't hear of the 44. That's why I ask you if help me. If help me with that number. Because what I know from what I have read is that he had one with Agar the maid, he had one with his wife Sarah, and then he had 6 with his second wife Keturah. That me know. That no make 8. Oh, you get 44. That sounds like you just pulled that out of the ear, man. And I haven't read anywhere else that said he had any other kids. Because he died shortly thereafter, after them putting it. So I don't think, well, according to the Bible, I don't hear it say anything that he had any more than those 8 children. But anyway, you missed that one there. You missed that one. Yes. You said he had 6 sons. So my question is, if he had 6 sons, that means the children that he had with Keturah were 4 sons and 2 daughters? Talk to me. Because he had, what's my Bible there? What's my book there? Because he had Isaac, he had Ishmael first. He had Ishmael first with Agar. Then he had Isaac with Sarah. And then he had 6. I never 6 sons. I couldn't tell if it was 6 sons, but me just know say he had 6 children. He had 6 children with Keturah. I mean, me no wrong with that is concerned. But impossible that I could be wrong. It is not impossible. But let me look. I don't even know which part me. I don't even know which part me write that again. I think I missed something here. I think I missed something. Hold on there. Because me not like when time I miss something, I want to know say, when I say something that it is true, because I don't want to mislead anybody. But why me can't find it? Where the pitney them they were Keturah of Abraham. Gotcha. Yes, Keturah. He had 6 kids with Keturah. But me not understand. I should have had it here, but me not see it. Something has gone wrong. Because this should have been after Sarah died, right? Where's the Genesis 25? So why the story? Why would the story take me all the way back there? So yes, the Genesis 25. Verse what? Genesis 25, verse what? I can't find. Oh, yes, Sita, you're right. You're right, for true. You're right this time. You're right this time. This time, you're right, 10K. This time, you're right. This time, you're right, my friend.
See
Yes.
my eyes, them?
Eh?
Look at my eyes.
Yeah. This time, you're right. Yeah. In our Genesis
So what
20.
happened after Sarah? After Sarah died, he remarried Keturah
Right.
and had those kids. Yeah.
And he had 6 kids with Keturah.
Right. So a total of he probably ended up with more that we didn't even know about.
Listen, I believe you. I believe he did. Because it also says to his children by concubines. In Genesis 25, remember it says, to his children by concubines. He gave them gifts and sent them away.
So he was with hoes.
You see, if you don't read the entire thing, they keep you lost. They just keep you in a one-track mind.
There's a lot of things that we just don't understand.
So
and those people were called by a God, and they were so godly.
And they were so godly. Eh?
And then they have all these things going on. Like, they would still... Look, I mean, like, they would have, like, 2 wives. And a lot of stuff.
More than that. But the thing is, it was part of their culture then.
But then he was a part of God. But God says God never changes, a God that never changed. So how would he accept that was a part of a culture? I mean, then if that was the case, then that means that God accept. I mean, people are saying it, and I'm just going to say it out because I have nothing. So I'm going to put a disclaimer on my word that I'm about to say.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, then that means people who are gay or whatever choice of life, that doesn't mean they still accept them. They can go and go to heaven. Because if all of this was going on back then and he was a chosen one, it tells me that there was something wrong.
All right.
Are you with me?
I agree. Abraham claimed that he was chosen. Him claimed that he was chosen by God. And nobody no lie like Abraham.
When we see thing there and not giving him right wife.
Who?
Wasn't he the one who Micaiah had to work for him for 7 years?
No man, that's a Laban.
Oh, Laban, yes.
Yeah, that's a Laban. But remember, Abraham and his wife Sarah were sister and brother, you know.
That's a whole mix up.
Okay. Abraham and his wife Sarah were sister and brother. They were same father, different mother.
What a piece of mix up.
Okay, so when he went down to Egypt with Sarah and he told the Egyptians that Sarah was his sister, he wasn't really lying, but he told them that in an effort to deceive them because he wanted them to take Sarah. He knew they would take Sarah and give him a lot of dowry for her. And that's exactly what happened. They tell him they were his sister. She was his sister.
But Sarah was in co-host with him.
Exactly. Because you see, at that time, women are the property of men. So if the man tell you jump, you better jump. Don't ask any questions.
Still is.
Yeah. Say still is? Which man I tell woman to jump and she a jump without asking questions?
Hold on. Why do you think they call it a marriage?
Hold up. Educate me upon that, 10K.
Okay, here. So, why do you think you need a license to do it? And you can't just pick somebody and call him a wife. Why do you think they have to have a license? It's because they become a property of the state. So the state have to legalize it and make sure that it is what it is. So you don't know that. That's why when you get married, it's hard to get out because it becomes a property of the state. Hello.
No, may I hear you?
So that's why when you're getting married, you have to have a marriage license.
Yes, because you have to comply with the orders of the state. You have to comply with the modern day laws that says you have one husband and one wife.
You become the property of the state when you do that. The state own you.
You know the same thing when they give one birth certificate, they not own you too. So they know exactly who you are.
And that's why they gave you a birth certificate so they could.
Right.
So you just when you have a birth certificate, you're a number. You're part of the system.
Right.
You're part of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they use those statistics to determine how much prison they need to build and school they need to build.
Right.
And that's why when they do have the kids in the early learning, they can determine which kid is gonna learn.
Gonna excel and which kid is slow and all of that.
So they can build more facility. If they have a school, that's why the school has to report to the state and tell them how the kids are performing. So they can know these kids are going to be excellent, these kids over here are going to need extra help.
And they start separating them from them in kindergarten.
And this one goes to this one and this one goes over here.
Mm-hmm.
So they know how to spend it. Yeah.
This one has special needs. This one is going to need a little more help.
Build more prison. They know they need to build more this, that. That's how they do it. Oh.
But that does make some sense.
Huh?
That does make some sense.
That's why they call it early childhood intervention.
It makes some sense because that would show like they have some interest in the development of the country. Because if you don't have interest in the young people, then you don't have any interest in the development of the country, because you need the young people. They are the ones who are going to grow up and take over.
Exactly.
So you have to start.
They need to know where the gifted ones are.
Right.
Where the ones that are not gifted are.
Right.
And they need to by count they can tell what they need to build and how much they need to acquire.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So each child, as they grow, they give them a number and they report to the Department of Education.
Yeah, because even when they start going to school, they give them a school number.
Yeah, that number follows them through.
Follow them throughout their, yes, that number follows them throughout their education, throughout their time in school.
So that they'll use that to determine if they're eligible for any type of services.
Right. And they start slating them like for gifted programs and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. And especially if they're from influential parents or whatever, they get the free pass.
Get a free pass just like that.
Even if they don't like a bad.
Even if they don't like bad, they are like marked for success.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. So yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
Mary of Nuts.
When you have your kids and you send them to school and they might tell us, oh, if you send them to this program and that program, sometimes don't do it. Don't sign off on anything, and they want to give them this type of medication or that type of medication.
No, nobody can give my kid no medication. Nope. Nobody can give my kid no medication.
They want to give them Ritalin or whatever it is.
Yeah. Talk about the ADHD, all this.
ADHD. When we were good, we didn't have ADHD, but we might know if we fix that.
Of course. That's the same thing I'm talking about. We grew up.
We have what ADHD?
I was going to say a whole lot of letter problems we grew up with. We grew up with a whole heap of letter problems. 2 licks fix that. Lick was the remedy. 2 lick fix that. Straighten up yourself, quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Straighten up.
Nowadays, them need 1 ton of medication and them still not straight up.
But the medication that they're giving them is not to straighten them up. It's to keep the money so they can keep getting money in their pocket.
Right, so they can keep giving them that medication. The sales of that medication can continue to go up. Oh yes, there's a method behind every madness that they do. You know.
Somebody's all right. So, for example, when somebody commit a crime, okay, just for argument's sake, somebody commit a crime. You know how many people get paid for that one crime?
Yeah, of course.
The person who judging get paid. The person who making the bed get paid. The person who making the bread get paid.
Everybody's getting paid. And if you go and you spend 1 night in a jail, the city get paid. Yeah. Yeah, them get money from federal government for how many people they have in a jail.
Yeah.
So they have an incentive to put people in jail.
Exactly. Because everybody's getting a piece of it.
Yeah.
A piece of the act.
And a lot of these prisons too, judge and police and lawyers and some have stakes in these institutions.
Of course.
Yeah.
The person. Yeah. It starts from the beginning. It starts from the person with the problem. Then it head to the police. Then it goes to the prison. No, then it goes to the judge. Then it goes to the jury. Then it goes to the prison. Then the person who makes the food. Then the person who makes the bed. Then the person who watches them.
A big business.
Everybody's getting paid.
Big business.
Yeah.
Big business. So when we are saying, you know, how comes there are so many of us in the prison system, we understand that it's to make money off of us. So since them can't trade us anymore upon ship, then find another way to constantly trade us, putting us in and out of the prison system. Sometimes we deserve it. Sometimes our behavior warrants the prison time, but sometimes it don't.
Why do you think they call it Wall Street and the stock?
Me don't know.
What is a stock? Livestock. Why it is a livestock?
Oh really?
Animals. And the trading. So they get that from when they were used to trade the slaves.
Oh yeah, the stocks. Oh yeah.
That's where it came from.
Capone said I went at the wedding day.
So what?
No, Capone they asked me about whether I wedding date. Capone, if me find myself I walk down one aisle again,
To who?
that not gonna happen.
To who?
Me?
Yes, he will.
Me?
I'm gonna be the prophet. I'm gonna be the prophet.
You could have you're a prophet.
The box.
You're Jeremiah.
You're gonna be the prophet that get the box.
You are the prophet that get the box. Oh sure. You don't wanna be Zedekiah.
Yeah, because I don't tell you what I want.
Sure, you might want to be Micaiah if you're gonna speak the truth. Micaiah.
I'm gonna be Micaiah.
Yes, you can be Micaiah who spoke the truth, but the other 400, including Zedekiah.
No, may God him be him. I'm gonna tell you the truth. It's gonna happen for you soon.
10K.
Yes.
Don't blaspheme.
But it's true.
Barry.
Somewhere out there the truth is.
Barry, what's
Somewhere
up?
out there the truth is.
Somewhere out there the truth is. Trust me.
You know what? I can tell you this. It would be a waste of material if you don't.
Master, me a 50-year-old. What me a go stress out myself? Me look at me want stress you.
You don't want somebody going to sunset with you?
Missa? Oh, me love.
Yourself on the veranda rocking chair.
No, sir. Me want to down right just up on the couch and rock myself to sleep. As long as I have peace. I don't. Right, Kitty? As long as I have peace, I could ask for nothing more.
Oh, boy.
Right, Barry? Okay. I'm not going to... Eh?
Me not really agree with you.
You're not alone, my love. You're not alone.
But it's just a waste of material to do it.
True. That's what I'm saying all the time.
No, don't do that.
Ah.
Don't do that,
Too much
please.
ugly cockroach cut up this a cloth already. Right, Kitty?
You better tell. You might find one that don't cut it.
The tree leaf clover.
Hey, you might find a 4-leaf clover.
What a leaf clover.
You might find a 4-leaf clover.
Mister,
You know,
yes, what me being, Miss Kitty. Yeah, man. Too much ugly cockroach cut up this a cloth here already. How me forgot doing this?
why, man, tell you bad, you know?
Me need to behave.
Can't take it no place and you behave
I
yourself.
be a miss. I behave, yeah. Oh, Miss Kitty. You fight for your place in heaven. Listen, all right, me I behave tonight. You see, I came here to do Bible trivia and you causing a 10K.
We're still into the Bible, still in now.
Paula, what's up? Tree leaf clover, how you
Alright,
doing? Huh?
So we're talking about all the stuff that's going on. You know, in Isaiah 46, I think it is 46. I think it's verse 5, I think it is. It says, I am God. I created good and evil.
Uh-huh.
So, what is that telling you?
Listen, I have a lot of questions where that is concerned. Because
You saw it for yourself, have you already?
yeah, me read past Jeremiah. Tomorrow morning me I start
No,
Philemon.
I talk about in Isaiah.
Yes, I have read from I've been reading from Genesis to Revelation. I just finished Titus this morning. Tomorrow we're moving to Philemon. So I have read it.
But who was Philemon though?
Me don't know, me not reached to him yet. But I think Titus was protege of Paul. Yeah.
Why are they giving him Titus? That's a very funny name.
Because you see, he was Greek. I know the word Titan, the Greek Titans, big and strong and formidable. Yeah, so Titus was
Titus means somebody. In our English language, somebody mean Titus mean and mean.
that is Jamaican vernacular tongue.
Titus.
Oh my God.
Titus,
That is Jamaican vernacular talk about Titus. Titus as somebody we mean. But the word Titus as in somebody's name in the Bible, that Titus was one of Paul's proteges. One of Paul selected one of the apostles selected by Paul to help him teach the gospel. And he also used Titus because of Titus's stature.
Remember, Paul was a badass, you know.
Not just a badass. Paul was to the New Testament as Moses was to the Old Testament.
No, he was Saul before he becomes Paul.
Correct.
He was used to persecute the Christians.
Correct.
Yeah. He used to make sure they didn't get through hell.
Yeah, exactly. He was to be judge, juror, and executioner.
And the way to right. When he went to Damascus, that's when he guys changed.
Right.
He hollered to God and said, "Who are you?" Right. So that's when he named changed from Saul to Paul. So there's a lot of bad people that can change. I should tell you a lot of good stuff.
Listen. Paul had.
So even when you say that you're not gonna get married, even when you say you're not gonna get married again, Paul can change from Saul to Paul. So things can happen for you.
Listen, Paul was also an opportunist. Paul saw where he could elevate his stature amongst the people at that time. And I believe Paul grabbed that opportunity.
No, Paul was a lowlife in the beginning before his name changed to. He was Saul and he was a lowlife. He would do everything in his power, and that was all about what he was all about.
Because he was employed by the leaders in Jerusalem. the rulers in
Correct.
Jerusalem. He was hired by them to go out and persecute all the people who were accepting this new gospel.
Right. And then when he said, Paul, why persecutest me?
So him
And
say,
then Paul said, what? And then Paul
I
said, why are you
saw him say,
this?
that's what he said.
Right. That's what they said.
Paul write it, you know. I saw Paul say, Paul write it.
Well, most of these people who were disciples were great scholars anyway. So when they talk about, I don't think Matthew ever wrote anything. I don't think Luke wrote anything. I think they had people who were considered scribes. Might have said that they wrote it, but some of these they weren't real educated people, because a lot of them were just like regular fishermen and whatever they do. They weren't really writing this stuff down. I can't even keep a diary straight.
Well, Paul had somebody was writing for him at one point, because he had said it. He said it that his eyes were getting dark or something of that sort. So he had somebody.
His everyday activity was journaled every day. I don't think so.
Right, they journal what they wanted to. I don't. Yeah.
Exactly.
Not every single thing. Not every single thing would have been journaled. Remember, John say if everything that happened was supposed to be written, there wouldn't be any book that would hold it. So that was being practical.
There were selected events that.
Exactly, there are some events that, and that is why the Bible leaves us with so many questions, because they selected what they wanted to document and what they didn't want to, and sometimes the things that they did not document, it leaves questions for the things that they did document.
Right.
Because you see, there are gaps and empty spaces that we don't know how to fill.
Right. But Paul was a more of a scribe than Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and the rest of them.
What do you mean?
In my opinion. In terms of writing stuff, Paul would be more of a person who would write.
Jonathan, what's up? How you doing? But remember, he said most of the things he was not writing. He was telling the person who was writing to write, but it wasn't him who was doing it. But he would be very specific in a lot of his writings and say, I, Paul, say this. So sometimes it make me wonder if Paul saw himself bigger than he really was.
But then again, it says these were the Bible was written by inspired men of God.
No, but when you read the Bible, you realize that could not have been true. That could not have been true. The Bible wasn't written by anybody, inspired by anybody. The Bible is a collection of ancient Jewish writings that were later on collected and put in this compilation that we now know as the Bible. All the Jewish writings could not have been put in the Bible.
Before that, they weren't like that. They were written on what they call scrolls.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
And they would keep them into the in some place, special place, to hold on to them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still a lot of questions out there.
Yeah, if you read it, you realize that these could not be inspiring stories. These could not be. When you see all the murders and the lack of grace and lack of forgiveness and people doing all these wicked things, and they say, dear God, tell them to do these wicked things, it leaves you with a lot of questions.
Right.
And why would at any point, why would at any point this God, who is supposed to be for everybody, why would at any point this God select a particular set of people to be godly to and not to everybody he created? What would have been the objective for that?
I guess they were the ones that were, as it were not the elected or the selected. They were the people who were idol worshippers.
No, but the thing is,
Because remember those people who are, um, as it were, they were different nations that didn't worship God according to the
but
Bible.
not the
So
same God them say create everybody. So if this God has
yeah, but
created everybody, why would he choose one set of people?
remember when the two sons went on, one went east and one went west? No, north and south. So they created different families. All right. Take for example.
Which two sons you are talking about?
Um, um, which one? Isaac and Abel.
Esau and Jacob?
And Jacob. Yeah.
Oh,
Esau and Jacob. Yeah.
okay, so Jacob went off to Jacob went off to Syria to go to his uncle Laban, and from there, so him end up with Leah, Rachel. Oh, look at that! Thank you, my love. He end up with Leah, Rachel, Zilpah, and Bilhah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was his 2 wives and his 2 concubines.
Right. And nowadays you can't even have well, never mind. Continue.
You can Nowadays I can't even one little side piece, see? One little side piece and them want to crucify you.
Yo,
What?
have the reputation of a pimp. And the mother don't pimp them time, you know.
Listen,
So,
that ain't even right. You should be allowed to have your little side piece and them not crucify you. Because if Jacob was considered to be a man of God, Jacob will having 2 wives and in 2 concubines. And them are rooks one tonight, rooks one tomorrow, rooks one, and them have kids.
yeah.
That's what I mean, Kim.
I think it's a Western civilization.
I think,
structure.
yes, it is from Western civilization that we have been told we can only have one partner. Kim said the argument too big for her. You better draw your chair. Where's the 10K?
Because that's to control population. Population control.
Well, that could be a part of it. That could be a part of it.
And to keep stability in the family, they want to keep it like that.
Right, because I could see how that would cause a lot of problems, you know? And with society changing, with women.
Before that, it never used to cause a problem.
Right, but with society changing and women wanting more, because remember back then, with the patriarchal society as it was, women were not even encouraged to want anything more than the men were presenting them with. They were not encouraged to go out to work, to go make their own money or whatever. No. But with the changes that has occurred over time, and women advocating for themselves and their desires to go outside of the home and to work and to contribute to society other than just having children, the laws of the land had to be changed to accommodate that. Me not mature enough for this kind of arrangement.
But even though there's a certain tribe, or not tribe, I would say no, certain set of people, they're not allowed, women are not allowed to walk beside the men, they have to walk behind the men.
Yes, there are still some societies that uphold those kinds of rules. But you see, we are in a modernized society. We ain't doing that.
No, it's not here. Right here in the USA. They still come with the tradition and the culture. The man has to walk in the front, the lady walk.
Well, I'm sure in Dubai. Somebody say in Dubai women can't ride bicycle. Well, I'm fix up myself, but I stay modest on the live. Where say in women can't ride bicycle? You're kidding.
No, in Dubai I was told that if you're not married you can hold each other's hand. You can't kiss in public, or you can't do anything affectionate anything, because you get in trouble, because it's the law of the land.
Well, it's the law of their land. You never go there, you comply, or don't go to the people them land.
Right.
It's just over here now.
However,
In a modern society, there is a lot of liberation.
However, yeah, there is.
A lot of liberation. So the things that we do, those things are not going to be allowed in many Middle Eastern societies.
So, going back to the Bible, because we're in the Bible, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to really stray away from it. So why did God tell Noah to build an ark? And how much cubic feet was the ark? There's a discrepancy in the whole thing.
Why God tell this old man? This old man was what, 300 years?
And there's a discrepancy there.
This 300-year-old man. And God look on this 300-year-old man and tell him to go build one big old ark. How much? One big this man figure bill. Louis, what's up? How are you doing? Good to see you. Happy Sunday evening to you. So God, look at this.
And then with the size of this thing and all of the different animals waiting by peers, you couldn't hold.
If you believe that they store them in a piece of Brooklyn Bridge for sell you. Why? Yeah, I understand.
There's another discrepancy to it. Here's the next part to it. If God's objective was to destroy, as it were, the people of Sodom and Gomorrah, right?
Mm-hmm.
After they got destroyed, that means one of them went back on the ship because somebody still left back. So what went wrong with that picture?
No, the thing is, only that area of Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed. Only that area that was called.
That was the city that was having problem, and then a great flood came up on the earth. It never say it came up on one part of the city, you know. It said up on the earth.
Yes, but remember, the Sodom and Gomorrah, didn't that part occur before the ark, or no?
No, man. It's when
the Sodom and Gomorrah occurred before the ark.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Sodom and Gomorrah part of the story, that part by itself was destroyed by the fire. But I guess the rest, but I guess the rest of the earth was so wicked that God had to destroy them, had to drown everybody. All the fish them did drown. It not say no living creature. It's a living creature. No living. Rowan, what's up?
But Mosquito said Noah was 500-year-old.
When Noah built the ark? No, sir. Oh, it was 600. It was 600. 600. When the flood came.
So let me ask you a question now. Hold on a minute now. So when he was like my age, he was a little boy.
When he married your age, they no most. What I don't understand, the Bible is so funny because it seems to me that these people had more years as old people than they did as young people. If you notice, their age of youth and young adulthood is like ours. But when they get old, they seem to live hundreds of years after they get old. Me not get it.
Well, listen, I'm looking into that too. Like, imagine if he's 600 years old. Imagine when he was 300 years old. Him just reach.
Okay. Because he said he was 600 when the flood came, but I believe he was 300 something when he started building the ark.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, he was just midlife.
It was just what? Where's the 10K?
He was just going through midlife crisis.
A midlife, midlife crisis. Miss Kitty said they were old and very strong. But the thing is, they should not be old. If you're going to live to be 600, you shouldn't be old at 100. That means gotta give 500 more years of feebleness, weakness, sickness. Oh, that is utter cruelty, man. Look at Abraham.
No, because they didn't.
Look at it. Look at Abraham. All right. That's when Abraham had Ishmael. Abraham was, when he was 100, Ishmael was 13. That means he had Ishmael when he was 87. Okay.
Yeah.
He have Isaac when he was 100. And the Bible already talk about him.
Listen, imagine you, so you live with this man and at 80-something years old you have a kid with the man?
No, when he was 87, he had Ishmael. Ishmael was with Agar the maid. That wasn't with his wife.
Yeah. Hold on. So even even though the maid immigrant too?
Yes, because he said God told him in going making of generations and generations, and his generations of children going to be like the sun on the ocean and the stars in the sky. Now him and Sarah had been.
You know, so the man
Eh?
You know, so the man who does smoke weed for a long time.
You know, so the man a madman. Him and Sarah had been together for years and years and years, all in life. Him and Sarah cannot get pregnant. So Sarah wanting to fulfill this ideology of her husband, who said God tell him he gonna have all this generation. How we gonna have all this generation if him not even have one pitney yet? And the two of them very old and feeble.
Well, I wrote in the comment section, I said, before the Tower of Babel, men live for hundreds of years. All right, what statistic you have on that, my friend? I'm not going to rule it out. I'm just like...
Before the Tower of Babel, men live hundreds of years.
Where you get that from? And where in the Bible? What?
I know that the men in the Bible live for a long time. If we can't find some people here, so like Adam, them say Adam lived to be 930 years. Easy, what's up? There's a Adam lived to be...
Adam couldn't live to be 930 years because Adam died the very day when he eat the apple.
No go so. Who say so? I don't say Bible say.
Then the wages of sin is dead. So what do you mean? I say that by the Bible.
No man, the Bible not say that. You ain't saying dead. The Bible say God put him out.
No, the Bible said the wages of sin is dead. So the man died the very day he did it.
No man, he never died the literal death. He never died the literal death. It's a difference between the perception of time then versus no. You know, say you have a point, Kim. You have a point. But when I look at how they measure time and how they measure the days, and the years, it wasn't too much different from ours.
No, wait. Then we need to go back to that little thing they call it the calendar. You notice the Jewish calendar is different from our calendar?
Yes, and they have a lot more names.
Because they never used to have July and August. Those 2 months were not part of the year. July and August. They were not part of the year. July came when Mr. Julius, whatever his name was, decided to celebrate his birthday and call it and add an extra month. And then Mr. Augustine came and did the same thing. That's why you have July and August. It was supposed to be 10 months. And so the Jewish calendar is different from the Yeah, you gotta do the research.
Yeah, the
So the
Jewish
Jewish
calendar
calendar is
is in
different.
fact different. But as I've been reading
It is
The
different.
Bible
It is
mentioned a
different.
whole lot of different names of the months that are not the months that we
Right.
use.
Right. So a lot of the months that they name that we have now are depends on the type of God that they used to worship and all that. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Lovely say if she was supposed to be born in the month of June, child, I don't I don't know.
July, July was not supposed to be a month. Is he celebrated? He likes to celebrate his birthday. So he extended it to July, Mr. July, and call it July.
Lovely says some countries don't even celebrate birthdays. Actually,
So that's why the calendars doesn't really add up.
they don't keep track of the baby on paper. Well, in the Bible, they sure as heck was keeping track of them. They sure was keeping track because they knew when everybody was born. They knew the age of everybody. You notice that when they talk about the kings assuming responsibility, assuming power, they always say what age they were.
Okay, so how nobody don't know when Jesus was born? That's what I want to know. If I keep track of everything and nobody know when Jesus was born. Because if what they're saying about Jesus' birthday and everything, Jesus was not born in December, for sure. And we know that. I mean, if you guys want to celebrate Christmas as his birthday, then it's all up to you. But
What the Bible say about that?
nothing about Jesus' birthday on December
Me
20th.
don't know. Me finish reading Matthew and something. Me don't remember.
No, nothing about that. He was born. He was born in the month that they were. All right, let's look at it this way. If anybody knows Palestine and this time of the year, that time of the year, no shepherd or not, no field doing that because it's too cold.
During the winter.
It had to be a spring month. So if you was not born in December, we know that.
But no, me not understand why you're not saying because babies are born in the winter. It wouldn't be unfathomable that he would have been born in the winter.
No shepherd would be out in the field that time of the year. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
But what I'm saying is, it doesn't mean that they had to be out there in the field. They could have just been shepherds.
No, it's not possible. Not humanly possible. You live here in the States. You know what type of damn snow we talk about.
And it have to be that the magnitude of snow like we fall up a Colorado or so. And they would have had to be taking care of their sheep.
No, but they wouldn't be out there with sheep that time of the year. That's what I'm telling you.
But what I'm saying is, they do not have to be out under the open sky with the sheep. But of course, yes, they would have been tending to their sheep one way or the other. You then build one like a barn over the sheep or something, but they would not have left their sheep out to the mercy of my granny would ask my granny a mercy, to the mercy of the winter.
All right, hold on. It says if they build a barn and the shepherd wouldn't be watching, it says while shepherd watch their flock by night. Hello?
Yes! Then them could have watch the flock in the barn.
Shepherd, all right, they may not enclosed building. What am I watching them for?
You
come on, who sit down watching them for by night time?
Me.
You have to cheat them in the way I watch them for. Come on, man.
Listen.
No, I'm not listening to that. No.
It could be that they are shepherds.
And you know what? And you know better than that.
Listen, 10K. Listen, it could be the magnitude of the snow may not have been to that extent that they needed to be indoors. It could have been the winter where it was cold and they're able to bundle up,
Listen,
but not in.
Huh? No, let me spoil it. Don't let me spoil the Christmas. Enjoy Christmas. All I'm saying is, I'm not a believer.
You know where you land, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, if Jesus or anybody in the Bible wanted us to know about Jesus' birthday, the day he was born, they would have put it in the Bible.
And the thing too is, but the thing is, All the other people in the Bible, them not gonna date when them born.
But at least Jesus was a major thing there now.
But the thing is, clearly it must have been the culture that they did not give any day when anybody was born. I have read the Bible and I am yet to find a date for anybody's birth.
But okay, so
So
you
I
are
think it
retarded.
is modern culture that has given Jesus a birthday of December 25th. Because me not see that in the Bible nowhere.
So if that's the case, then I use what you say is correct. Then how we get December 25th?
A modern culture, them just pick a day.
Then exactly what I said to you. Then
Because I don't see nobody in the Bible. Nobody in the Bible. There is no year when they were born and there is no date. All them say is this one was 40 years old, this one was 6 years old, this one was 8 years old. That's all they say.
Yeah, and exactly. So then where did this 25th come around? Have you done your research on it?
Me don't know after me don't believe them something when me research for.
Okay.
Me know say at Christmas, if you look at them, one go celebrate, one go have, I don't think it have anything to do. You give them one little gift because a gift opening time, you give them a little gift and celebrate. But there is no indoctrination where I am concerned.
So let me ask you a question then. If you say it was your birthday and no, say you have a birthday and say you are the Lord of Kings and somebody decided to celebrate that day when it's that birthday, how would you feel about that?
Listen, that kind of gone too far for me to even think about it, because if birthdays were that important, then I think that from the beginning we were reading the Bible, would have been seeing them tracking people's birthdays. But I don't see them tracking anybody's birthdays. But they sure can tell you how old the people were.
But then again, when everybody buy a Christmas gift and nobody buy nothing for Jesus.
Jesus tell you say one Christmas gift?
You know what? God, can't stand it.
Listen, what am I buy Christmas gift for Jesus for?
But everybody buy. Some people are Christmas gift and make gifts. Some people are some people are spend out their lives with card and I make Christmas gift.
Yes.
All type of stuff are going, and Jesus, I had nothing to do with Jesus.
Kim Sam get gifts. You never see the shepherd them giving from frankincense and myrrh and all these things.
So them say we don't know.
I saw them say in the Bible.
What is frankincense and myrrh? What is that supposed to represent? Because I'm not sure what it is. Because I'm never in my modern day world now. I've never seen the whole thing and what it's used for. So what is this thing?
You know, say, as something where you burn it, and it give off this aroma that is. Them say that aroma is supposed to guard against evil spirit or something like so. I don't know. Like so.
Wait a minute. So Jesus, the Son of God, need to warn off evil spirit? How will you say?
No, but let me listen. Look, leave me alone at 10K. But listen.
All right. You know what? You make me doubt this right now. I'll come out for your life.
No man, no come off. Stay. But listen. But listen. But hold on now. But remember say no. Remember say, when you go give gifts, what those people were used to giving for gifts was like herbs, right? Alam said lots of people doing things in Jesus' name, and Jesus said no. Tell me about it. But anywho, tell me about it. Okay. But remember, I mean, giving a gift to a baby of like frankincense and myrrh and Jonathan, how you doing? And that kind of thing would have been something that you would give to any baby.
No. If we have a baby and you can frankincense and myrrh come, may have something to ask you. What is going on?
Me don't know frankincense. Me don't know.
I've never known in my entire years on earth, I've never seen anybody bringing any gift to any kid that says, "Oh, I guess what I brought you, something from Jesus, frankincense and myrrh."
Yeah,
No,
grannies do that.
no, sir. So what's going on with that picture? Something wrong?
Grannies do that. And frankincense and myrrh was something that has been revered in ancient culture. So I'm not
Okay.
surprised that they would have
Okay,
brought
so if
him.
this has been referred, just like how if what you're saying is correct, and it has been in Asian culture, there are certain things that was in Asian culture that's still with us today. Like, for example, Sunday, go to church on Sunday, frankincense and myrrh, and all the different stuff that's going on. How comes we don't have that?
Maybe you have lost it in culture. Jonathan said, "My family follows your wonderful cooking videos." Oh, I'm so honored. I'm in a cooking recipe, you know. About me. I'm in a cooking recipe, you know. Ain't me terrible. I'm in a cooking recipe. Eh?
They might need a doctor in their pocket.
But you're terrible. Don't say that. Watch yourself. Don't say that.
I'm just kidding.
Don't say that. Listen, me a good cook.
We can run that joke?
Where did they today me did a cook? Where did they today me did a cook?
I'm hungry. I'm not sleep.
Yeah. Today me make cocoa bread, me make ice cream. Me make seed.
Ice cream.
Eh? Me
That's
eat.
why you eat the ice cream.
Yeah, man, me eat all the ice cream. Me eat half the wallet, but me
The
eat.
bowl probably right next. The bowl right next to you right now.
Eh? You see there? Right there, so. Kim say I cleanse your baby when them give them frankincense and myrrh.
All right, ask Kim. Who should know that give no opinion on frankincense and myrrh? Because I've never seen it as a gift.
Maybe you never see it, but people do. Frankincense and myrrh still at Walmart.
It does it?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was just in the Bible.
Yeah.
I thought it was just in the Bible.
No, frankincense and myrrh is something for real.
I did not know that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and then people burn it and I don't know what they do. They burn it and do so. You never see when the priests are doing something saying they know say frankincense and myrrh in it?
We never have no priest, we only have pastor. We never see me do that.
Alright, you never see the priest them with one little lantern something and smoke a come out of it. That's frankincense and myrrh burning, you know.
So when the walls of evil spirit?
Me don't know if I'm just a ward of evil spirit or following the traditions of the Bible with the incense and stuff.
Hold on. So if he is a priest and he believes in God, why is he warding off evil spirit? So
But believe kill and believe cure. In belief alone not gonna help him.
you know,
Where say so all hold on the 10K. So all this time since you've been sipping on your drink, you have us here in class. So behave yourself. Alarm says in the Bible, the writer's intention, reader's interpretation, culture differences. The writers them never write what they write for us to take it as gospel, you know. The people were documenting their actual and supposed experiences.
No, you cannot say that because
Why?
it says it's called the Holy Bible. And when something is holy, it is separate, it's sanctified. So
Listen,
you cannot say that.
listen, I said what I said. The people did not document their cultural experiences for us to take it as gospel. They documented their cultural experiences for history to edify their generations of people about what was happening, what happened, who did what went wrong. But it was not for us to take as gospel.
No, I agree to disagree with you because I said the Bible was written by holy men of God as they spoke.
But that is not true.
Well, how are you going to say that though?
Let me know I'm going to say that.
Because
when you read the Bible, if you're talking about inspiration and the Bible being written by men inspired by God, That's some hell of an inspiration that I would not want if that is the case. Because with all the hatred and cruelty and killing and all of this, and everybody claim that God tell them, it leaves you with such confusion. If God is telling all these people to do all these things, then my question is, why would God be this cruel? Why would God choose one set of people and say, you are my chosen people? For you, I will do all things. You are going to get all the benefits of the goodness of earth. But yet still, them same people there, they get taken down, they get taken into Babylon, into slavery. They get murdered, slaughtered, all of this. And then the prophets turn around and say, oh, it's because you know, disobey God. That's why him do that too. No? So this love-hate relationship that has been going on, it leaves much to be desired. I do not get it. At this point, in my mind, people were being very creative and they were questioning their existence, how they got here. And so they came up with these creative stories as to how they believed we got here. And with that, they wrote also the experiences that they had. People go to sleep, people get a dream, they wake up. Oh, in my dream, I saw a God. I saw what Jacob said. See, Jacob said he saw a ladder extending from heaven to earth, and angels going up and down the ladder, and God stand up at the top of the ladder. I don't know how much time I dream so me I fly. Me grow wings yet?
Look here. Look here, man, nobody tell if not documented. That's why Trump wants to believe have his own Bible. Documented, yes. Alright, hold on. So, so we have different versions of the Bible, right?
Right.
And one of the versions of the Bible I question, and I keep asking, and then I have the answer to it. So, anybody know who was King James?
That one good question. Butchie say,
Okay.
I'm questioning my life. I'm at war for almost a year. What about your life you questioning? Listen, me about a question about the Bible, but me not questioning my life because I know I'm going to breathe until I cannot anymore. Yeah?
But it's the same thing that, hold on, it's the same thing that you inhale, it's going to kill you.
How would that day me inhale?
You're going to inhale oxygen until one day you can't inhale it no more, you die.
Okay. Until one day.
Okay, so you see, life is a cycle. It's the same thing that you breathe in, out. At some point, the same thing is going to kill you. You're going to have it and you can't use it.
You can't use it. Yeah. So I'm just gonna I am not worried about all of this scare tactic where them I use pan you tell you say, you know, if you not do this 1, 2, 3, if you not do XYZ, you go some hell where fire go burn. Make me go along. Cause how you know that? How you know that? And there's this heaven. And all of these people who are talking, they're so heavenly bound, they are no earthly good.
Well, 3 men went up already. Up there, up to heaven, and they asked Jesus, they want to see, you know, what heaven was like. So what happened is that Jesus tell them to look around, and then look around, and then the men asked Jesus again, so they want to see down hell, and Jesus said, yeah, of course. You can go down hell, you can pick which one you want when you come back. So when they went up to hell, they saw a party down there and everything going on, and they had a blast down there. Went back up to heaven and tell them say, look, we are going to hell, we can't bother. When they go down to hell, and I got the gate, them let them in and say, wait a minute, where's the party? They say it was a 3-day promotion that time for the fire. Every time when you come, they had a 3-day promotion.
Oh my gosh. I like that. I like that. Yeah, so the thing is, people are taking their beliefs and using it to whip other people. A belief is just an acceptance of it's just an acceptance of some information that is not even fact. Because it not prove until you can irrefutably prove to me that what you believe is true, because it has been tried and tested and it is true, don't stop them with the foolishness. Because this is our whole fantasy.
I do believe that there is a God. I do believe that there's a higher being. But some of the stories that they are giving us are not.
No make no sense. And people try to scare you.
For example, most of the people who are going to church, alright, and I'm not knocking any denomination, I'm not talking about any specific group, so I have a disclaimer on it. So they all calling Jesus and all of that, and everyone, and as soon as they feel sick, they want the best doctor. None of them want to die, but they all want to go to heaven. So what's wrong with that picture? If when you die, you're gonna go to heaven.
Why them in a hurry to die?
Huh?
Why aren't they in a hurry to die?
I'm just saying.
That has been my question. Nobody can answer it. Like, and when people say, oh, they are in a better place. If you know that death is a better place, why aren't you in a hurry to die?
When my mom passed away, somebody said that, and I was so upset.
Yeah, I keep telling them, nobody don't say that to me or over me or whatever. There is no better place. No. Not tell me, oh, your dad is in a better place. No, my dad is not in a better place. I would have rather him be here with me so I can see him and talk to him. He not in no better place. Him bury under the ground and him turn worm food. Him not tell me about him in a no better place. It's as if you are saying to me, oh, just be grateful that they unalived him. Because, well, he's in a better place. Like, rubbish.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. So the people who are promoting health food, they're promoting this, they all don't want to die, and they don't live in miserable too. They're here living miserable as hell. They're grumpy. Use them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You don't know who they are until Saturday or Sunday. Use them, let them press up, let them clothes and gone to church. Them big
because you see, they gotta go get their refill. Because you see this thing, they can't maintain it. It is not humanly possible. It is not humanly possible for you to not totally not be envious, for you to totally not be jealous, for you. It is not humanly possible.
Nope.
So you end up in a cycle. You go to church today, Sunday, and you get your fill. And that fill runs out in 7 days and you have to go back to be refilled.
And some of them go back and come back out empty.
No peace better than them did go in.
Thank you.
You understand? And I say for all the Christians in the world, I find it very, very sad and very questionable that with all the Christians in the world, there could be so much wickedness. Why is there so much wickedness considering?
And I say that all the time too. So we're on the same page. I was thinking the same thing. I said, wait a minute. So all these things that's going on. You remember that Christian man that took these people down to Guyana and give them the
Jim Jones.
and give them the Kool-Aid?
Yeah, Jim. Because you see, as human beings, we have this emptiness. We have this desire to honor the person or the entity, the energy, whatever it is that brought us into being. And we feel a sense of obligation to honor that person, that entity, that energy, whatever it is. But none of us knows what it is. So we have come up with come up with theology. We have come up with all different. Everybody comes up with their own ideas about how we could have come here, how the earth could have been formed, and everybody is finding their own way to honor this energy.
But you realize that the entities that are around us are the ones that we are feeling every day, day in and day out. For example, oxidization, oxygen, the heat of the sun, and the earth. Earth is the foundation for everything. It doesn't matter what it is. Everything has to go back to the earth. Because
Exactly.
it doesn't matter the best, and everything. It doesn't matter how much money you have and whatever it is. Everything's gonna go back to the earth, and the earth is gonna refurbish it, replenish itself. So, looking at the earth and the wind and water, those are the three things that control the earth. And I do believe those are part of the entities, in my opinion.
Yeah, and nobody should be able to disqualify what you just said, or nobody can't dismiss it, because I can't dismiss your argument, because my argument is going to be in alignment with yours, because I do not have an irrefutable fact to counteract your argument.
But we do see that the earth, the Mother Earth, takes in everything. It doesn't matter what you have in life, you still have to build on the earth. Everything comes from the earth. Whatever you eat comes from the earth. When you die, you're going to go back to the earth. So the earth is the foundation of everything. It takes in everything. It doesn't matter how bad it is. If it's an atomic bomb, if it is just regular, everyday stuff, it's the earth. And it takes in everything. And around the earth, it's the elements: rain, or wind, water, and fire, the heat and the water. So those are the things that makes up the whole atmosphere. So think about it in that respect. We know that there is a divine being. We don't know the extent of what it is or who it is, but we know somewhere out there in the galaxy there is something going on. So let's look at it this way. Live and treat people the way you'd like to be treated.
That's what I say.
So, even the guy that do the translation, he was gay. I'm not saying nothing is wrong with being gay, because that's what people like. So what they like, what they like. But I'm just saying, King James was a gay guy.
Wasn't Paul gay too?
He authorized the translation.
Wasn't Paul gay too?
That I don't have any reading on. I can check it out.
I believe Paul was. Because he
Paul the man who, when they were having the prayer meeting and the guy fell out the window and Paul went over and touched him and he came back to life.
Where read that?
Some part in the Bible, in the Old New Testament, when the guy was at the
window. Wait, no man, it can't be the Old New Testament. It must be the Old or the New. What are they?
Old New Testament, the New Testament. My bad. They were having a prayer meeting and he was alright, so he was sitting at the window and he was supposed to be paying attention and his mind was supposed to be inside of the church, but he was focused on out balance. And he fell through the window and they went down and he was lifeless. And I think it was Paul who put his hand over him and then he came back alive.
Me don't know. Me remember that. Me don't remember everything in the Bible, because the Bible is too much to remember everything. But me don't remember that. But me have to go look it up. I will go look it up. So you say Paul raised dead?
I don't recall if he was totally dead, but they said he laid his hand on him and he came back alive. Or whatever was going on with him.
Which part in the Bible that?
They were supposed to be a prayer meeting, or wherever they were having a meeting, and or whatever was going on. He was in the church, but he was between the windows where he fell, and he fell out, whether he fell asleep or whatever. So they had to go down and pick him up.
Oh, it could be that it did happen. Just I don't remember everything when I Bible. And that one in particular, I don't remember.
Who just joined a while ago? Peter?
Eh?
Peter, Donald Pender. You have to go know God for yourself. Doing good is the best way. Okay? We know that.
Yeah, I just think that you do to others as you would have them do unto you. And once you do that, you're not supposed to need no other No more of Moses. Moses 600 and how much precepts and sitting where I'm give the people them.
Where do you want to say eye for an eye?
No, remember I say Moses give the people them. He give them the 10 commandments. And then him give them 600, I think it was 600 and something. Mini bylaws and precepts for them to follow. The people them couldn't keep up. They could not keep up.
No, they couldn't.
Because even before they sinned, they were expected to sacrifice animals for sins they had not even yet committed. Look at poor Job.
It was a part of forgiveness.
It was a part of forgiveness.
Yeah, but you know, and then when Abraham claimed that he was gonna kill his son, and they take him and tell him say, we're gonna
you see how Abraham lied to that boy, right?
So God tell him say
he must sacrifice Isaac. And he make Isaac carry the wood them on him own back. He strap up Isaac with the wallop and hood them on him back. And poor Isaac did not know that he might carry.
You don't think that was a mental health thing going on there?
Of course. If I'm here, Isaac, me don't trust my father again. I wouldn't trust him again. But you see, he brainwashed the boy into believing that, you know, a God said me if you do it. And people just seem like they had a lot of mental issues. And if God was so prevalent in those times, where is he now?
But he has to have those men, because if he married to the lady, his sister, then of course there had to be a lot of mental issue.
Of course, yes. Maybe that's why she couldn't have no pitney. Maybe that's why she couldn't. She was having trouble conceiving because of her brother. And then
she knew that he was her brother, so she couldn't. You know, the thought of it kind of bothers her.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thought will make she couldn't get pregnant. You know, but did you also notice?
You think she was onto something kind of contraceptive and keeping Abraham at bay?
She didn't not a contraceptive. I don't think so.
You think they're not right about be back and she just couldn't get pregnant?
Yeah. Maybe.
No, I don't think so. The thing is because she know that he was his brother and then she didn't want to.
You think so? Anything is possible, because anything what the Bible not make straight, you're free to think about it anyway.
About a lot of things that weren't recorded, you know.
Right, a lot of things that wasn't recorded. So you think maybe should I take some bush?
Yeah, long time. So Abraham put it in, she take it out.
So
what's her brother?
Should I take morning after?
Merengue.
A merengue drink. But the thing is,
because imagine yourself, right? I'm not saying in practical life, but imagine if it's your brother, how would you feel like? You wouldn't want to tolerate that you have kids and you know it's for your brother. You wouldn't feel right. So she knew that, so she said, you know, Abraham, you know, those days the women have to subdue to their men, but she had a way of doing stuff. Because she couldn't disobey him, so she just had to do what he says, because he was Abraham. So he said she just was using her bush and taking care of it, and then tell Abraham, listen man, you're link blank.
She said, well, you got a point. She said she couldn't get pregnant. Then how would she have gotten pregnant all the way at, she now was 90 years old?
Yeah, at that point she parked the push and realized and say, you know what, I'm gonna try that one time.
But all the way at 90 years old, she said she stopped her period and all these things, and then boom, she pregnant.
Because you see, because then she had that one old leg that itch up the lung.
Listen, me done with you. You said she have one little old egg did itch up there.
Yeah, and then she thinks that the egg never did it, but the egg was there.
So if she'd have washed out the rest of them, why she never wash out that one day? Is it because she did so ashamed? Because remember saying no, Agar used to mock her, you know. Because after she tell Abraham, say, listen, me can't get pregnant, me can't have no pitney for you. I just say God say you're gonna have seeds and something. Well, you gonna have the seeds if we not have no pitney. So here what? Just go into Agar and go see if you get Agar pregnant. And then when he went into Agar,
a long time and I get bonded because imagine Agar probably have been mad.
But maybe, but then again, Agar was his servant. So you know, so the servant them live with the master. They usually leave their family. They usually leave their family and stay with and come work for the master. Oftentimes they were working off debt.
But,
because Agar was an Egyptian, so I'm not sure how comes Abraham got that Egyptian to be his servant.
But sex was not part of the deal. Even though she was a servant.
He must have did that sleep with them all along.
Huh?
He must have did that sleep with them all along, but out of respect, he probably never get nobody pregnant because he never want to hurt Sarah's feelings. But when Sarah told him that, it was okay for him to go see if he can get Agar pregnant, you know, Sister Abraham didn't stop. Abraham didn't ask her any questions. He did not question her judgment. He did not say, you know, how are you going to feel if I do that? He never asked any question according to the Bible. Sarah suggested, and boom, Abraham run. Before Sarah changed her mind, he run.
Right away before she changed her mind.
Right away before she changed her mind, he run go get Agar pregnant. So it is possible that they could have been messing around together prior to that. But now, because Sarah is the one who suggested it, he feels comfortable getting her pregnant because after all, Sarah has now shown her hand that she is in agreement.
But because she was in agreement, she was just trying to get somebody to take off the load off her.
And I believe she genuinely wanted her husband to have a child.
No, but not for her, not from her.
I think at that point, you know, remember she kept saying that she was old and she wasn't going to be able to have children. She had stopped seeing her period and all these things. So...
Right. Well, remember what I said to you a while ago, the old egg was there, but she didn't know. She did not know it was there.
All right, whatever you say. Okay. All right, whatever you say. I look like I'm just the one egg left.
What exactly?
The one egg did left.
That was a onesie. That was a onesie. It's like finding a needle in a haystack.
Okay. All right. So she end up with Isaac. And I guess she was glad when she ended up with Isaac because now she has said the people that would have stopped Makar because Agar gave her hell, you know. Agar Makar left and right, and said, you know.
So you say long time them have your spring door.
Yes, long time. Agar mocked Sarah day and night and said, you know, Sarah was barren, Sarah couldn't have any kids, and she, I think Agar probably felt that Abraham should have married her, should have leave Sarah and marry her since she had his kid. But the Bible says Abraham would have done anything that Sarah told him to do. And Sarah told him that she was not pleased with the way Hagar was treating her, so he should get rid of Hagar. And even though he did not want to get rid of his son, he realized that in getting rid of Hagar, it meant that he had to get rid of Ishmael as well. Right. But he would have done anything that Sarah told him to do. And since she told him to get rid of Hagar, that's what he was going to do. So he got rid of Hagar and Ishmael, give them whatever provisions, and send them on their way.
I never see one man run to go get something from one woman so quick. I said the man that even wait till the word come out of the woman.
He no wait till the word come out of the woman's mouth. He was so glad. He was so glad.
I can imagine if Hagar did look just like.
Yeah,
I can imagine if Hagar did look like you and I'm Abraham.
But roping. Roping. Yeah. I'm ready for another one. You crazy as hell.
That's alright.
That's not right. You're not right at all.
You can have fun.
Kevin, what's up? What are you doing? You saw me mean I'm 10K and if you read the Bible, you will see oftentimes they refer to Isaac as Abraham's one son. You notice that?
No,
in the Bible, yes, they frequently refer to Isaac as Abraham's one son. And if people have not read the Bible, they will go away believing, if they have read only one of those verses, they will go away believing that Abraham had only one son.
No, Abraham had 6 sons.
And two daughters?
It didn't say 2 daughters, it said 6 sons in Genesis 25.
No, but remember, he had 6 kids with Keturah in Genesis 25.
Where?
But remember, he had Isaac with Sarah and he had Ishmael with Hagar.
Right, so that make it 8.
That make it 8, right. So when you say 6 sons, that's why I'm asking if he had 2 daughters.
No. Yeah, it's not correct. It's 8, total 8.
Yeah, he had 8 children. But also he talk about him giving his concubines, the children of his concubines, and it was concubines plural. So me like, okay, so Abraham did have more children.
How many women did he really have?
Exactly. And remember, he was a big guy, a rich guy. Remember when he left Egypt with a whole heap of animals and something, you know. And remember when he went to King Abimelech again, and he tried to pimp out Sarah to Abimelech again, you know. Abimelech give him again one whole heap of animals and land. So he was the big, powerful, rich guy. So all of these little young women who were his servants, he was messing with them. He was. Because the Bible said in concubines, he gave his concubines and his children. Hold on, let me see how let me read that.
Well, I don't know. You hear this part now?
I
think he was a Jamaican.
Oh, Donald, I agree. Abraham was a Jamaican. Abraham was a Jamaican. Abraham of all people my wife don't know about. Yeah, man. The Jamaican, they're going to beat you, Donald. But me agree with you. I agree with you.
Somebody said it there. Somebody said, Donald Fender, he said Abraham was a Jamaican.
Wait there. But one to see which part it said Abraham.
Look in the comment section. Look in the comment section, you will see.
Yeah, me see it where Donald say he was a Jamaican. Me I look to see where Abraham in concubines and in children. In children and in concubines, what he find riches.
Well, how many could he? Alright, check 25. Well, how many could you possibly have though?
Enough. Because remember saying that the Bible, you remember when the Bible talk about Adam and Eve and the children of them have, you notice they talk about Cain the first son, they talk about Abel the second son, they talk about Seth, and they said Seth was the splitting image of Adam. But it went on to say Adam and Eve had many more sons and daughters. But the rest of them were not mentioned. Only those three were mentioned.
Again, it goes back to what we're talking about, the inspiration and all the writings and all the things that's missing.
What's inspiring about that? But somebody write one story. Me can't go sit down and write one story and write about my pitney them and my grand pitney them and whatever. What inspiring about that? Me not see the inspiration. Am I something wrong with me where I not see it? I don't see the inspiration. I see people in the advent of their society, they are documenting what they believe to be true. There's no irrefutable proof, but they are documenting their experiences, their actual experiences or their perceived experiences. They might write about them dream, they might write about little experiences what they have and stuff like that. Then government, their norms, their laws, their relations with each other, and the changes that have occurred over time and stuff. What is inspiring about that?
So let me read a little stuff here while I'm gathering intel with you. It says, according to the view, Abraham remarried after the death of Sarah and had a total of 3 wives, Sarah, Hagar, and Keturah. Another traditional identified Keturah with Hagar, and thus Abraham married only twice. Each of these views find scriptural support for its position in the 3 wives opinion related in Genesis.
Well, according to the Genesis, when me read, not the King James Version, he had Ishmael with Hagar. The Bible talk about just that one child Ishmael he had with Hagar. It talk about Isaac with Sarah. Okay? And after Sarah died, he married Keturah, and Keturah had the 6 children for him. Now, when I'm going to talk about this whole heap of wives and all of that, let me understand it. When Sarah died, Sarah was 127. Abraham was 10 years older than Sarah, so he was 137 when he died.
So age is just a number. So age is just a number then.
He lived to be 175.
Right.
So let's do the math.
Okay, go ahead.
Sarah died at 127. That means Abraham was 137 at this point. Right?
Based on your facts, yeah?
Based on the Bible. So he married, after Sarah died, he married to Keturah.
Hold on, let me see if that's what he says. After Sarah's death, he married and had 6 sons.
With Keturah.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. He married to Keturah and had the 6 sons with Keturah. So Sarah died and he was 137. So 130, 137, 147, 57, 67. That was 38 years later he was dead.
So then, okay, so then at what point did he have the kids with Keturah then?
He was 137 when Sarah died. So between that time and the time when he died, 38 years later, that would have been when he would have married to Keturah and had the 6 children. Was that also when he started to go wild and have all these other kids with the concubines? Or was he having the kids with the concubines prior to, but those kids were not being mentioned?
You have to ask the Jamaican, I don't know.
Good as what's... Because, listen, it says that he had lots of concubines and children. So, if he had lots of concubines...
Can you stop using that word and say side chick? Can you say side chick?
Oh, side piece, side chick. Hold on. If he had all of these side pieces, that would mean either he had these side pieces with while he was married to Sarah, or he had these side pieces while he was married to Keturah.
Could be.
It's one or the other. Because he died, he was 175. So it's not like him lived till him 900 odd like Methuselah, or so we could say, well, all right, over all those years, he must have one whole heap of picnic. So, I don't know. I don't know. But I think there's a lot missing right there. There is a lot missing.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot that's missing. Them not tell me the whole story.
Nope.
Yeah, them not tell me the whole story. Eh?
You're half our story we get it. You're half our story we get it.
Yeah, man, I pure half a story. And some people hold on pan this and take it for gospel, and I say, yeah. And when you present them with the questions, they can't answer the questions, but them still hold fast. Yeah, the middle of foolish part, it say, his concubines. I saying giving concubines, his children and his concubines. All these things will I'm give them and send them on their way. And even later on.
So that means he gave them chance to put and send them away?
Yeah, because even remember, say when him sent with Agar and Ishmael, he gave Agar and Ishmael lots of provisions, you know. He gave her a lot of things, you know, support, suppliance, so she could leave with Ishmael, and her and Ishmael would be well taken care of. And Beersheba, the place where she went to live, that was his property. So he didn't really turn him back upon Ishmael, but you know, he could not keep Ishmael and Agar, considering the conflict that their presence was causing for Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how I can't find it where it say him send them away with all his children and his concubines. So there's a whole lot that we don't know.
Yeah.
There is a whole lot that is missing. Whole lot of things that is missing.
Imagine one person have 70 sons.
Hey, you see some of them have 70 and more children.
Gideon, for example.
Which one?
Gideon had 70 sons.
Gideon had 70 sons. That's just what they mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, just what they mentioned.
And it says from the many women took as wives.
And even David did have the heart of God. And look what David did to Uriah.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. And David did have the heart of God. God's one heart.
Look here, if it was David and Missy over there, I'd do the same thing.
You're not terrible.
You come up the guy and say, oh.
I said, no, sir.
Who that over there?
Who that? I'm going to tell her, so I call her. Tell her.
Yeah.
Tell her, so I send call her.
So send him right to Iraq right now.
You are crazy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, me I try to find.
Right?
Eh?
Crazy as hell.
You're crazy for you.
But the man did wrong, you know. Imagine, but wait a minute. Why she was outside taking a shower though?
Me don't know if she didn't want the king to see her. But the thing too is, remember, he was on the upstairs. So it could be that she was a part of her house where she thought she had privacy. But from where he was on the top, he could see her. You get me?
Outside that she was.
Yes, but the thing is, the outside could be relative. It could be.
Imagine, if you're gonna take a shower, you know that there are tall buildings outside, and possibly somebody could see you. You're still doing it.
Remember the times of the time. You have to remember you can't lose sight of the time that these stories supposedly occurred.
Remember back in those days they never had binocular enough, so you had to be at close proximity.
Yes, but remember that David was the king. So the king's house, the king's palace, the little servant quarters would have been peppering the perimeter of the king's palace. So it would not have been.
But it wasn't in the king's palace that he saw, because he would have.
No, he was on the upstairs of his palace and he saw her.
But the king's palace could not be near any regular person. Remember that.
But remember, the king had all these servants who lived with him.
Right.
He had all these servants who lived with him. So imagine that their quarters is around the building.
But you're right, never deserve all of that.
Never deserve all of it. That was a wicked act. And then the Bible went on to say, because they know people was going to question how them say David was at the heart of God. You hear what they say? Oh, God say the only thing was him have a problem with David with was what he did to Uriah. And one more thing, I think it was two things. They said God was upset with David about. What he did to...
when he cut off the garment of when he cut off the garment of Jonathan's father, he should not cut it because he was anointed. Remember when Jonathan's father wanted to kill him? Jonathan was his best friend. His father was Saul, I think, King Saul. And he was anointed king. And King Saul didn't like David because people were singing that King David killed, he killed his 1,000, King David killed his 10,000. So he got jealous and he didn't like David. So because the people were like giving David more accolades than him.
Mm-hmm.
So he decided that he wanted to kill David. So every time he set up a plan to kill David, his son, who's best friend with David, would tell David, don't go there because my father's going to kill you.
Oh yeah,
so
I remember that.
One day he was sleeping and David saw him and went and cut a piece of his jacket and said, I could have killed you, but I didn't. And so the Bible said God didn't like that because he was anointed. He wasn't supposed to do that.
So who was anointed? Saul?
Yeah, he was anointed king.
So he was anointed king, but this anointed king was ready to kill David.
Wanted to kill David because when David killed Goliath, and all the people were saying he killed Saul killed his 1,000, but David killed his 10,000, and he didn't like that because David was getting more popular than him, and he figured maybe David was a threat, so he wanted to kill David. But Jonathan, which was Saul's son,
right,
David, and they were best friends. They were close friends. So every time he would set it up to kill David,
because Jonathan loved David.
Yes, he would tell him, no, don't go down there.
Mm-hmm.
My dad set up a plan to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
So, but one day David saw the opportunity where he could kill him, but he didn't. He just cut a piece of his garment.
Right.
And when he wake up, he says, I could have killed you. And the God was displeased with David because he didn't want him to do that. So that's one of the things that I despise.
And you said God despised David for that?
Cutting off the piece because
for cutting off the piece of Saul's clothes?
Yes.
But that
because
would
he
have be
was
some
anointed by God.
good inspiration right there. So if Saul is trying to kill David and then David catch him off guard sleeping and David cut off peace sign shirt, what a lot of inspiration that
But
is,
it
eh?
wasn't meant. But it wasn't meant. It was. You could look at it as an inspiration from that angle, and I agree.
You
But
hear the
this
sarcasm in it
particular,
when I say inspiration? Because when
yeah.
I say the
But
Bible
based
written
on the
by men
story
inspired
about
by God.
me done,
Me
me done, brother.
think I come here this a come.
So be careful, brother.
Because them say the Bible written by men inspired by God. No one will for inspiration that.
It is.
I bet it
Okay,
is.
Isis. How are you doing? Okay, somebody saying hi to you.
Oh, me not see them
Good
yet.
as.
Oh, good as.
No,
Oh,
no
yeah, man.
comment
Good as I'm a
section.
girl. Girl, good as.
Well,
OMG. Take
all I
me
know that
forward
some
in
of
the
these stories
place.
are,
Where's the 10K?
and I know that some of these stories are ridiculous.
More than just ridiculous. And ridiculous is the right word. Yeah. I want part of them story. The story them that
But
make
you know, say,
sense.
even, all right. You know, say even when Jesus was on earth, even though he was on earth, you know, say the disciples them around were bad boys like Peter, for example. In fact, Peter take out his sword and chop a man's ears.
Of course. Of
It's like having
course.
an AK-47, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, yes.
So,
Them.
so,
It
so,
looked to
so
me
it's
like
like, all right. So
Jesus selected the
he had
people
an,
them who did to protect him.
it looked like he has an entourage.
Yes, I think he selected. He was very specific in the people who he selected because he expected those people to protect him.
Yeah, because nobody couldn't go near him.
Right. But then still deny him and betray him.
Yeah,
Because
that's why Mark
even
came in.
after Peter deny him, when he rose up from the dead according to the Bible, so them story are fantastic. You see, Peter continued to be a disciple, an apostle.
Yeah, but uh, you know what? I don't want to blaspheme. I don't want to say and word stuff I don't know. So I'm just gonna leave that one alone because I don't know the depth of my thinking about how much trouble will get me in. But my mind is all over.
My mind too. My mind roams a lot, especially when it comes to the stuff in the Bible. You understand? Because even the story of Judas not add up, you know.
No, the story of Judas add up. You know why? Because in the word it says that before one of my word passed away, heaven and earth shall pass away. But it was, and that's why I tell a lot of people that I personally believe in predestination. And predestination is tomorrow or whatever is going to happen is going to happen because it's predestined from the beginning. Because Judas couldn't have done anything to defend himself or to stop from doing it because it was already said that one of you shall betray me. And if it didn't happen, then God would have fallen and it would not be true. So, in fact, Judas had to do it. It's not like he had a choice. So there was this man who had no choice but to deny Jesus and kill himself. Imagine that. Because he felt so ashamed.
Because what?
He felt so ashamed because of what he did. Because remember Jesus said to them, one of you who eating with me today shall deny me.
Yes, me there. I try to remember the discrepancy what me did find when me did read about Judas, you know. There was a discrepancy about Judas's death because them say Judas go hang himself and then they say
Right.
Judas fell on a stake in the field and
Oh my God.
died. So
Did it say that?
yes, so when we were reading that part of the Bible in the New Testament, that was one of the questions that had come up. That was one of the long discussions that we had about whether it was true, which was true. Because it said after him throw down the money and when he come back and him say, "I want back the money," and them same can't get back the money because Jesus already, them already have a crucified Jesus, whatever the case may be. And they said he left and he went and he hung himself. And later on, it said that he fell on a stake in the field and died. And I said, which is it? He then dropped on one stake or which one was it? A lot of the things in the Bible are not consistent.
I'm reading it. I have intel. It says the first telling of the death of Judas came from Matthew 27, verse 3 and 2 to 10, who includes the story of as part of the passion of Jesus. Judas immediately felt guilty, tried to return the money, end up throwing it back at the chief priests and elders. Judas then goes out and hang himself.
Okay. Read the next one. There is another, I think it is Luke's version. Don't quote me on it. But there's another version that says...
Hold on, there are two versions. Hold on, yeah, you're right. And it says there are two versions about how he died. One indicates by suicide, hanging himself. The other, that he brought a field with the silver and threw himself up on the ground and burst his bowel in the first situation.
Yeah, they said there was a stake and he fell on the stake and killed himself.
So which story is true?
Okay, that's...
You know what? I got me there.
Let me tell you. You see, a swords in hand. Me going to have tonight, you know? It was going to be swords in hand. We were going to talk about. I was going to ask questions and you will give me the answers. And 10K, trust me, you help me with this one tonight. Take it. We have got the swords in hand one other night. But my question remains, my friend. Which was the truth? And why, if the Bible, if these men are inspired by God, as y'all say who write the Bible, why in the world are there so many different versions of the same stories? Because if me I write something and I gotta inspire me, and you are write something and I gotta inspire you, why would our stories be different? Why would we be writing different things? Because God to y'all, God don't change, and God wouldn't give me one story and give you a different story. It would be the same story, the same event, same story, same inspiration. So why we end up with all of this? Is it that God loves confusion? That's why I met the devil, so that he can always have an antagonistic energy? What is it? I don't know. I have no answer to the question. But the Bible is not adding up. Yeah,
well, I'm going to ask you a question again. I have something else to ask about something that me have a problem with. So Adam and Eve was in the garden, right? And they ate of the fruit, right? And God came and realized that they ate of the fruit that he told them not to eat, correct?
Right, so the Bible say.
And that was the only time we read about something like when he came and spoke to them. And then because they disobeyed him, he didn't forgive them, but he threw them out.
Right.
But at the same time, in another part, it says you must forgive your brother 77. So how is that in correlation with one situation where they got thrown out for one thing that they did and never got forgiven or whatever?
Never got forgiven. They were thrown out primarily because he said he did not want, according to the Bible, he said he did not want them to discover the tree of life. He said they had now discovered the tree of good and evil. You don't want them to discover the tree of life.
But in Isaiah 46 verse 6 it says, I am God, I created good and evil. So what's the problem?
What's the point of creating good and evil? If you know that the evil, your people are born in sin, shaped in iniquity, they are going to sin. But you create the good and you create the evil. And you know they are going to sin, and then you create the hell to put them in after they sin. Oh no, come out of my face with them foolishness. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So you create the good, you create the evil.
It's saying in not. It says, "I am the one who created it,"
Uh-huh.
and then it turns around, and you can read it for yourself. And then it turns around, and then it says, "Forgive your brother 70 times 7." And these guys, two people, never had the opportunity to get forgiven in the garden. Like,
Okay.
my God, we made a mistake. Can you forgive us? They get immediately expelled.
Immediately.
And then, but why? And why would they listen? Why would a woman listen to a serpent?
To a snake.
Of all the creatures, and so if Adam was a Chinese, that damn snake wouldn't be in the garden.
They don't name him.
Yeah, man.
Listen. They would have named that snake long time. Child.
Right, man.
And then the thing is,
But why was the snake? But why was the snake even talking?
because that's how it was intended to be.
Alright,
You
so
think
where did the snake get? All right. So for you to talk, you have to have certain. Because I'm watching something, and it's the front or the back of the brain that allows you to speak. I don't remember which part, but there's a certain part of the brain that allows you, give you the speech. But the snake doesn't have that. So where did that come in? Just like Christmas?
That's a good question. And they say that part you shouldn't take it literally because it wasn't a snake. But the thing is, the whole of the Bible didn't just refer to it one time. All of there, so in Genesis, it referred to the snake crawling on his belly. It referred to it. So how you gonna tell me not to take it literally?
So what way you should take it?
Okay. And the Bible went on to say, God, when God cursed Eve, cursed Eve like a dog. And say, your womb shall spill blood, and there shall be enmity between your seed and the seed of the serpent. That means Eve's seeds are going to always be at odds with the snake seeds and vice versa. Why that?
Who was the snake at the time? But who was the snake at the time? Was it Satan?
As far as the Bible says, it seems like it was. It was.
But there were two times that people got expelled. One from the Garden of Heaven and Garden of Eden, and one from heaven. When Satan was expelled from heaven and through to earth, why couldn't he have gone to another planet? Why Earth?
That is a great question.
Because remember, we don't have only one. We have other planets. And
Of
then why would since Satan wanted to take over, why wouldn't God just say, you know what, boom, you're out?
But my question always remains as to why did there need to be an antagonistic energy? Why couldn't it be that people are created, people are good, and we treat each other well and everything? Why we have to have all these periods of utter destruction and we still can't get it right? It don't make no sense. Because look, the Adam and Eve put in the garden, they sinned, they got expelled. Right, they got expelled. All right. Down there in Sodom and Gomorrah, the people them didn't have any laws. There weren't any laws at the time to say do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. So the people were living as they felt, going by their feelings.
That wasn't normal for them.
Okay.
They were sent to warn them. I think the part that says they were warned.
No, I don't see anywhere in the Bible where they were.
No, it says I think it says that if you go down there and find one righteous person.
That was when the angel was talking to Abraham. That was when the angel was talking to Abraham, because remember, Abraham knew that his nephew Lot lived down there. So he was concerned for Lot and Lot's family. So that's why he was saying to this, the angel, whatever entity it was, that when the entity told him that he was going to Sodom and Gomorrah to destroy because the people were so wicked, and he said to him, so tell me, if you, for my sake, if you go down there and you find 50 righteous people, would you still destroy the place? And the person said, yes, if I find 45. He said, if you find 35, you're still like, he said, yes, if I find 30, I will not. Then if you find 25, if I find 20, I will not. Then if you find 15, I tell you, if I find 10, I will not. And that was his point of proving that there was nobody down there who was worthy of being saved.
So then that's when he picked up Lot and wife, and then they were
right. So when the angels got there, Lot was at the gate. It said Lot was at the gate when the men approached the city. As I don't know if he was the bodyguard or the guard of the gate or whatever, but he was at the gate, and he greeted the men and he offered them to come to his house, because he said everybody else in this place is all wicked people. All of these people, you cannot trust them. The men are going to want to sleep with you. All of this, they are no good. So why don't you come into my house? I will wash your feet, I will feed you, and you can tarry there until the morning. And they went back and forth because they said they didn't want to go. Lot said yes. They said they didn't want to go. Lot said yes, according to the Bible. And then eventually they agreed. And they went into Lot's house. Lot washed their feet, fed them, all this good stuff. And then the men came to Lot's house, starting to beat down the door, saying they wanted these men for themselves. Lot said, no, I have two daughters left here. I have two daughters left here who have not been known by a man. These two virgin daughters. I will give you my two virgin daughters. And the men said, no, them don't want the virgin daughters, and the man them want. And that's when the men were struck with blindness. So even Lot's other daughters and sons got burned up in the fire. Because he left Sodom with only his wife and the two daughters that were left at home. The other daughters and sons were already married and outside of the home.
Right. So what's up with the salt now? Why would she turn into a pillar of salt? That don't make no sense. She look back. The salt part me not really get.
You're trying about that thought. Now make me look back right now. Cause listen.
I mean, she
Plumber,
look back and turn into
Angie,
a toad.
Listen, the story them just not add up. It says that she looked back, she turned a pillar of salt. Why did there have to be a punishment for her to look back?
Looking back.
Yes, and they said some people want to say it wasn't a literal look back, it was her thought. But of course, yes, she had children. She had children who were back there in the fire. So as a mother, of course, yes.
They didn't look back, but she had to look back to see what she's leaving behind.
So she looked back to see what she was leaving behind?
Yes.
Yeah, but she had children back there too. Remember the Bible talk about their sons-in-law. How could they have had sons-in-laws if they didn't have daughters who married, who were married and were left back there? So as a mother,
the part I'm trying to figure out is, of all the things, why she turned into salt?
yeah,
Is that cleansing thing?
but she would have been cleansed and continued to live. But it said she turned into a pillar of salt. That means she turned into a statue, because she did not go to Zoar with Lot and the two daughters. So clearly she turned into a statue.
Oh wow.
Them, me never hear her name, you know. They only said Lot's wife.
Those stories are heinous.
It said Lot's wife. And even when it spoke of the two daughters, it never spoke of their names. It never said their names. It said Lot's two daughters and him then going into the cave up in Zoar. But he never said their names. So there are more questions than answers. Lot more questions than answers, I tell you. I mean, understand how comes there was this great punishment from God for the daughters, for the children who came about from the daughters raping their dad.
I was looking to see if her name was mentioned, but it's not. Her name was not mentioned.
Her name was not mentioned.
Or Eden.
Her name wasn't mentioned.
No, it says she's mentioned in the Bible. She's not mentioned in the Bible, but it's called Ado or Eden in some Jewish tradition.
I guess some tradition probably give her a name, but according to the Bible, me not see a name for her. And I don't see any name for the two daughters either. It went on to talk about the two sons that the daughters had for their dad. But me not hear nothing else.
Oh, but you know they said the pillar of salt is still standing.
It's still standing?
Yeah. It's it says today's last wife stands on the nearly 300-foot high eastern escarpment on Mount Sedum. Yeah.
So the pillar of salt is still there.
Yeah.
What a story. What a story.
Better him than me.
Better she 10 pillar of salt than me for true. That is some kind of a story.
You believe it?
You want me to believe all of them? Yeah. Eh?
If you believe it.
Then if me believe all of them a story, which probably I have space left to believe reality when it comes by.
Jesus? You have to answer me like that. So
Oh. Oh, shit. Yeah. If me pack up my brain and believe all of them cockadoodle story, yeah.
You just have to increase your CPU.
Eh?
Central processing unit. Increase.
For me lock.
You gotta increase your CPU.
For me dep on lock. Oh, me not 20 no more. Eh? Me have to occupy me.
You're not far from it though.
Say what?
You're not far from it, but it's alright.
From what, 20?
Yeah.
Boy, missing
We don't have a lot of people over here tonight.
If I see 20 again, me Jesus, what would I not do?
You remember when you were 20 what you did?
Of course I remember these things I did at 20.
Is it anything you're proud of?
Oh.
Never mind, don't answer. Don't answer.
I don't remember doing anything that I'm not proud of. Yeah, like that.
Oh, where did you store that in your temporary file or your permanent file?
In my permanent file.
Yeah, the try a temporary file. First.
Yeah, in my permanent file. Yeah. When me at 20.
I think you did a lot. At 20, I think you did a lot of stuff.
20.
Rebel.
20 me at work. No. 20. 20, me at 20 me at work.
Rebel.
No, I was never rebellious.
No, we're not talking about in a good way, not like.
Yeah, me never like rebel. But me rebel. I don't know what to say. I don't know rebel. Like I wasn't boisterous or, like that. But, Life happens, right, Mitchie Boo? Yeah, but when I was 20, I was working.
Nobody over here between me and you because we're not Bible. They don't want to hear nothing about Bible.
Then, no, sir. I don't want to ready to condemn you.
If we over here talk about some dirty stuff,
Mr.
we don't
Child,
support.
me not the mix up. Me not
Usually
them look a dirty argument there. Them argument.
we don't have box to put people.
Yeah, not true, man. Me not it.
No, sir.
Me not have the energy for it. Me not have the
Yeah.
energy. Me not have the energy for it. Me not function like that. I mean, a lot of people jump ship and gone into the realms of hell, if you will, with you know
There's a hell.
appear under
If you're up
people and
here,
all kinds of me can't bother with them something. Even though it sells, it is something that people gravitate to. But
you
maybe
think there's a hell though?
me go and panga. Listen to me now. No, nobody now go burn up in a fire. Nobody now go burn up in a fire. I don't believe that not for 1 minute.
So you believe that there's gonna be a resurrection and people's gonna come back?
Can do what?
Alright.
Can do what?
So when you let's say when we passed away, that's it.
What else you expect to happen to you when you pass away?
We don't know.
You ever see anybody come back?
No. Only one person we know come back.
Who you know come back?
Jesus.
Oh, you know
Yes,
that?
No, they said he came back.
How you know that? You say one person you know come back.
Well, I corrected my statement. One person I was told that came back.
Okay. Okay.
But I know for real that God is real. I know that not everything out there is to take as face value. But you just have to be you got to make God the source of your intellect and try to find it for yourself.
Good luck.
Good luck. No, God is out there. God is real. You might not experience him the way I did.
No, I don't argue with anybody when they say their God. I don't argue with anybody when they say their God is real. Everybody have their own opinions of God, and so I don't tell anybody what to believe or what not to believe.
Oh, that's true.
I just know that I refuse to be browbeaten or scared into believing in some fantasy.
Right. Well, I don't think it's fantasy just because we don't understand it means it's a fantasy. Maybe there's somewhere that we need to discover.
Well, you could be right. You could be right. But my question still remains. I understand how God was so prevalent all them times there when the Jews were establishing their religion and their society. I know you can't find him.
But you know what, though? You know that where Israel had belonged to the Palestine, right? Palestinian.
Run that again.
Where Israel is, it was for the Palestinian.
All right.
It was when Hitler were killing the Jewish people. And
remember
those
now.
who escaped.
Hold on. Remember now.
Those who escaped they went to Palestine and they asked them to let them live down there, give them a little slice of the land, and they gave them and then they take over everything.
But remember,
that's why there's all this war down there.
you have to remember that historically, that place right there where Jerusalem is, was Israel.
No, it wasn't Israel. It was, remember, Israel was named after, no.
Listen,
Listen, we
remember,
can agree to
if
disagree,
you
right?
go, yes, if you go back into the Bible, where Jerusalem is, where was Israel. Remember that over
All
time,
right. So it wasn't named, but it
the
wasn't named.
but wait now, listen to me now. Remember now, over time, the Israel lost its position, lost its authority in the region, because remember, all of those surrounding countries, they had an objective to get rid of the children of Israel, to get rid of Israel. That had been going on for generations and generations. And as time went by, they were chased out and the land was eventually taken over. So they did not exist at all. They did not have anywhere to call home at all. So that place that was
Correct.
already established as theirs had now become somebody else's. They didn't have any place to call
Yeah, that's what
home.
I'm saying to you. That's what I'm saying to you. Is when they were is when Hitler, after the concentration camp and everything, they didn't have any place. They were dispersed. They didn't have any
It was
place to
even
go.
before that.
So they, well, hold on. So they went down there and asked the Palestinians to let them in. It's like somebody come to your house and say, "Can I stay at your house?" And you say, "Yeah," and then they take over back the land.
But remember, at that time, Palestine was being ruled by England. So England had the
Yeah.
authority. Remember, when after Balfour had
And
written
yes,
that,
and that's why when they had the meeting, that's why then they had the meeting, they said they could go back down there.
right,
They could go down
because
there.
Balfour had said that he wrote his letter to the Queen. He said he believed that it was now time for the Jewish state to be reestablished, because the Jews need a place to call home. And that was historically their home. That was, according to the Bible, that's where, David had established the great dynasty of Israel. But over time, with bad management and everything, the Jews were chased away. Some of them ran away voluntarily, others were slain and they were chased away. And the surrounding countries, they were all in agreement that the Jews should not be there. So Israel was there, but not there, if you know what I mean. There weren't any Jews
Yeah,
populating it.
that's
They did not
and I
have
agree with you.
they
So
didn't have
when
their
and what I'm
society
saying,
going on. They didn't have their
and that's what
society.
I'm saying.
They were not there. They were scattered all over the place. Some of them run away to Europe. They were everywhere.
Correct. Right. And then when they got there, they said they could settle there, and then they begin to squeeze the Palestinian out and out and out until they have just a little spot.
England was in charge. England
Well, I
was
understand that,
was in
and I
charge.
said
So
yes,
England,
and I agree with you. I agree with you. But what I'm saying, even though England was in charge, they squeeze out the Palestinian out and out and out until they have nothing left. So they control the mass of the people with the land, which is, we understand now, is Jerusalem slash Judah, whatever place it is.
but listen. I don't think there will ever be peace down there, because
No,
you
there
see,
will never be.
this is from Bible days. Remember, no, remember that when the children of Israel came from Egypt and them come over and them take over. You see how they slew the people and take away the people them land? And see how God tell them if kill the people them and take away their land?
Yeah,
They went through like a swarm. When everybody here they were coming, everybody trembled at them boots, because them say the number of them. And they had heard of what they have been doing along the way, how them slay everybody and take with their land and slay and take with their land and come on over and come on. So you understand that from then, there has been this palpable hatred for them by the surrounding countries. When King David was in authority in Israel, you notice David was very clever. When David
yeah,
wanted assistance from the Syrians and all the other countries around. You understand? You notice what David traded? Did you notice? David traded soldiers for land. David was very smart. David said, you want my help? I send you 10,000 soldiers and you give me that piece of land there. And so David was able to build this great dynasty. There was so much land for the Jewish people. Because David realized the power that was in the ownership of the land. And so they extended mightily in the region. Big wallop of land. As far as the eye can see, all over. Land. And then after, exactly. And then after David, you notice that everything started crumbling, you know. He left it to Solomon. Solomon left it to his son. Which one was that? Adijah? I remember what that one called. But when it went down to Rehoboam, when Rehoboam became in power, Rehoboam was such a trash. Because he started exchanging land for soldiers. So he started giving away the land when he wanted help to go fight wars, because remember, this kingdom had been divided at this point, Rehoboam and Jeroboam. Jeroboam was the one who wanted to overthrow Solomon, and Solomon make after him and him run to Egypt. When Solomon died, he came back and him said, God tell him say he's going to give him a land and whatever that was bigger and more than what David had. So when he started preaching this, a lot of the people started following him. So now the kingdom was split in two, because some following Rehoboam and some following Jeroboam. So now Jeroboam, he going over here, and he's annexing some of the land, and he's saying God give him over here, and he's over here with these soldiers and whatever. So when Rehoboam wanted to go take back the land, now he is pressed for soldiers, because now he must fight Jeroboam to get back Israel land. And Jeroboam is amassing a lot of soldiers and followers to defeat Rehoboam. Now, when Rehoboam realized that there's no way the few people he has left could defeat Jeroboam's army, he started to exchange land with the Syrians and stuff for them to give him soldiers to go to fight Jeroboam.
Right.
So eventually,
Right.
Israel started losing land, and they took advantage, because the other surrounding countries, they took advantage, because they said, oh yeah, Rehoboam will come him on soldiers. Me don't have a problem giving him soldiers, but trust me, he might give me that 10-acre land there. Oh yeah, he might give me that 20-acre there. And before you know it, Israel had been reduced to not Jeroboam over there, so take over that the whole side. Poor Rehoboam over here, so with one little bit, and every time he asks for help, them say I have to give them land. And he just kept giving them land, because you see, he never understand what his grandfather went through to acquire all of this land for Israel. So eventually Israel now have no land. Them don't have a place to call home.
They already have the place.
Eventually they had no place to call home, because all of the land that they had stolen initially, but it was theirs, it was Israel, but all of the land was now gone into the hands of Egypt and Syria and all the other places. So now they were scattered abroad The little bit that was left, Nebuchadnezzar come up, Nebuchadnezzar destroy them, take away everything, and so they were scattered all over the place. They did not have a place to call home. Jerusalem was still there, but it was no longer theirs. It was not under their control. So after years and years and years and years, because them couldn't build up back one dynasty to reacquire that land, because the people around did not want them there to begin with. And they didn't want to give up back the land. But England, in 47, 48, England, that was responsible for Palestine, said, listen, the Jews had been displaced and whatever. This right here so was supposed to be theirs initially. We are going to just give them back right here so and call it. And then after that, now they continue the expanding and expanding and expanding. So this war is of biblical proportion. It not going to end.
Wow.
Yeah, it not going to end. Because do you think at this point the Jews are going to just get up and say, okay, Palestine, take back this land that was ours from a long time ago? No, they're not going to do that. Do you think the Palestinians are going to say, all right then, since uno did get displaced and we did take away this land or whatever, we could just give you this and we take this? No. And nobody's giving up, nobody's letting up. So the war is just going to continue.
Yeah.
I would just wish that they would be able to live side by side in peace.
Well, listen, there's going to be always war down in that place.
Always. I just wish they would come together and determine, you know, all right, this is what we're going to do. And everybody just live in peace. You take this aside and me take this aside. And the war stop. I would love for them to be able to do that.
They want to put them aside and they want to decide.
Everybody want the whole thing. Everybody want the whole thing. Nobody no agree to lose. And then it's innocent people who are paying with their lives. And that is so sad. But what we're gonna do? You take me, what are they gonna do? Them have to come to some agreement because them can't just continue with all of this slaughtering. Them can't just continue with all of this slaughtering, man. Every day you get up, how much pitney, how much women, how much people just dead. But that's the same way how everything was going in the Bible. Because when you hear the Bible say 10,000 people dead in a one day, 30,000 people dead in a one day. I'm like, mighty God. Are the same kind of killings going on down there in epic proportions? Yeah, that's what it is. All we can do is hope that one day there will be a meeting of the minds and they will come together and determine that there can be peace. And then everybody just decide to choose peace. But until then, we just going to stay on the sidelines and go and watch them war. See me? Already, you gonna sleep 10K? Yeah, I snore in the snore. Yeah, you gotta sleep now. But anyway, yeah. In my sleep, and we are going to turn off the live now because you know me have work in the morning. So, that's how we are going to end for the night. You see, we had come here with the intention of doing Swords in On, but we are going to do Swords in On one other night. Alright, people? But I want to say thanks to everybody who stopped by, everybody who came into the live, everybody who commented in the live, whatever your contribution was to the live. To my friend 10K who came up here and helped me out with a healthy discussion, I sincerely appreciate you, my friend. And those of you who continue to communicate in the chat, I appreciate you all as well. All right. when we come back again tomorrow morning, for those of you who have been following me, when we come back tomorrow morning, we are going to continue with the reading of the Bible. Tomorrow morning, I think we're going to be reading the book of Philemon. All right? So be sure to come and join me tomorrow morning, maybe around 4 or 5 o'clock, somewhere around there. All right? Yes, Donald, I appreciate you, my love. Tech B, I appreciate you. Kim Screechy, I appreciate you, my love, and everybody else who came in. I appreciate it. I appreciate you all. Thank you all so much. All right, guys. So that's the end of tonight's discussion. Until next time, this is Trev from Trevessence, where your journey matters. Have yourselves a great night, everybody, and see you all in the morning. All right. Later, guys. 10K. You drop asleep like Trump. You drop asleep, and when you wake up, I hope when you wake up, you don't have 34 felony. But anyway,
You see, you mix up, you know?
That wake you up fast. That wake you up fast, man. Cause
why they say they can mix it? You can't me run as a home.
me say the last time I see one man drop asleep, when he wake up, you have 34 felony.
34?
34 felony when he wake up. So you mind yourself when you drop asleep out of turns.
I mean, that's fellow business, you know.
Okay, we don't know that. We not join that the gang.
No.
We don't know that. Okay? Alright, but the story done for tonight. Tomorrow morning, me come back, come read the Bible. And then, I have to go work in the morning. So, I'm not going to see me in the day tomorrow. Until tomorrow night. But them time here, I come home. Eh?
If we see you.
If you see me, because sometimes I come home from work, I'm so exhausted, brother. I just can't even bother to come on live. But we will see. I'm going to do the reading. Eh?
But what to do is invite, instead of just have it as a general, just invite a couple of people over. Like if you go in and invite like a couple of people you want to kind of go over it with you.
Go over what, the live?
But there was a lot of questions and answers tonight that I'm still unanswered, but we made some significant progress. Yeah,
we're going to keep talking about it. We're going to keep reading. We're going to keep researching and have healthy discussions about it. Because it is a discussion to be had.
Can you invite a pastor to come over and answer them questions?
Pastor, them don't know nothing.
Wow. Just like that.
Just like that.
Right.
Yeah, the pastor them have an objective. The pastor them have an objective for claims to them a win soul. Me not in no soul winning over here. And me not in no condemnation. Because what them a do, I try to win soul and I condemn people. Me not in that. Me not join that. Me not join that church there. We are condemn people. And I tell people about them a go to hell. And them to do things this way and that way or else. Them a go to hell and all this. So me not join that. People must be allowed to live them life how they so choose. And me or you don't have no authority to tell nobody so them are going no hell. So the pastor's teachings are not in alignment with my beliefs. Yeah. Because pastor have an objective, you know. A soul pastor, they look, you know, pastor is like Paul. A soul Paul look. You see what Paul tell Titus say? Yeah, what? Don't entertain nobody who are question this gospel when me tell you to preach. Don't entertain them, because if you entertain them, it's going to make you all start questioning it. Why Paul would tell Titus that? Listen, man.
That is true.
But why would I tell Titus that? You should have be open and welcoming to people asking questions, so him can set them straight and say, listen, this is what it is, X, Y, Z, 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 Z. Him say not to listen to nobody. He must preach the word just like I tell him to preach it to the people. And I'll entertain nobody ask him no question about it. Like,
but those guys we really didn't hear much about them, like a Titus and the Philman and the rest of them in there. And how come they end up with 1st and 2nd Timothy? Why 1st and 2nd?
Because he had written, those were the 2 letters that he had written to Timothy. Because remember, Timothy was one of his proteges. He had left Timothy in charge of you know, like when he appointed the evangelists, he would send them to different areas for them to be in charge. So like with Titus, he sent Titus to, I think, to Crete. So Titus was in charge of Crete. So he was preaching and teaching in Crete and winning souls and all of that. That was his area. It would be like, you know, the president is up at the White House, but then him have like a governor for Florida, a governor for this, you understand? That's how he was sort of outsourcing his ministry. And so he had these different people in different places, and he wrote his letter. He wrote to the Colossians. He wrote his letter to the Colossians to say, you know, I can't come yet, but believe me, my mind is on you. I have you all in my thoughts. I am sending over whoever I was sending over there, you know, to bring greetings to you all and to ensure that everything is going as we want it to go. Everything, you understand? He wanted to make sure that they were all on one accord. He said he didn't want them to be unequally yoked. He didn't want one evangelist to be preaching one thing and another evangelist to be preaching another thing, because remember, the apostles who were the original apostles of Jesus Christ, they were not preaching the same gospel as Paul. You get me?
I get you.
All right. They were not preaching the same gospel as Paul. So why was the two gospel different? It's because the original apostles who were following Jesus, they were continuing to adhere to the laws of the land. The laws were the ancient Mosaic laws, the laws that included this on the Sabbath day, no, your donkey not for work, and your maid servant and whatever, and the boy child must be circumcised after 8 days and all of that. Even though Jesus had said he does not care for this circumcision. What he wanted them to circumcise was their heart and not mutilate their bodies. So Paul was teaching that gospel, which the Bible refers to as the uncircumcised, because he wasn't pushing circumcision. Peter and them were preaching the gospel of the circumcision. So their gospel was still, you know, with all that Moses had taught. Their gospel, they could not let go of those ancient traditions. So even though Jesus had denounced it, they were still preaching it. So it's almost like they were on the fence, like them not so sure they would teach everything what Jesus teach and abandon what they had been taught culturally. They were not sure. Paul, on the other hand, Paul was ready and all out teaching to the Gentiles, you know, what he claimed to have been given that authority to preach and teach. And it did not involve circumcision after 8 days of birth for the boys. It did not include not having your manservant, your maidservant, your ass or your ox working on the Sabbath day. Paul's gospel didn't include that. Because remember, you remember when Jesus walked through the cornfield? He drop asleep on me again. But anyway, those of you all, let me finish the thought. When Jesus walked through the cornfield and the disciples decided that they were going to pick the corn because they were hungry, the Gentiles were right there ready to chastise them and say, look. Jesus, you say, oh, you having them pick the corn on the Sabbath day? They're not supposed to. Per the laws of the land, they're not supposed to pick any corn on the Sabbath day. Jesus said to them, remember David, what David did? They went into the temple. The food that was in the temple was only supposed to be for the priests. Why would there be food in the temple only for the priests when David is hungry? If you are hungry, the only thing to satisfy your hunger is food. You can't hold a day so sacred that you do not eat because of a day. Then when you drop down dead, what you going to say? Anyway, me already did tell you no goodbye. So now that 10K gone sleep on me again, it's really goodbye now. So I see you all in the morning, guys. Have yourselves a great night, everybody. See you all in the morning. 10K, go and go sleep. We'll talk later.